I'm this bad. Boy stunned like my dad called me Scrooge McDuck. Cause I'm swimming in the cash. Old school Chevy on them sixes, took a bath. Swagger overboard, you can see it go splash. I'm the man, that's how we do it in the land. 08 money and some new rubber bands. V-neck tee in my True Religion pants. Fresh new J's, yeah, C-Town snapback. Paper in a loud pack. Remy cup double stack. Red bone bubble. Yo, it's your boy Luxury, the most expensive nigga rolling, aka DJ Easy Dick, BKA Mr. Land Wood, wherever it's good. And I'm in the building with my favorite motherfucking DJ K's. And we got a special guest in the building, the guy Body Jihad. What's happening, big dog?
Man, life.
That's what's good. What's going on with the K's over there? You over there stuffing your face, nigga?
Nah, nigga, I'm trying to pull you up on this damn Twitch feed.
Yeah, everybody that's new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live with some of this drip. You feel what I mean? But we got a lot of stuff that we gonna unpack and get into today. We're gonna talk a little bit about everything. We're gonna talk about the fucking crypto market, which is going crazy.
What we need to talk about is why I'm looking at your Twitch channel and that shit black as your ass.
You said it's black as my ass. There's no way. There's no way. It's always
I'm looking at your Twitch feed right now, and that shit is black.
You say
that's
all
black.
I see. That's all you see is black.
All I see is black, and I don't hear shit.
Let me see what's going on, nigga. Let me see what's
going on.
No,
I hear shit. It is all black.
Hold on. What the fuck? It says watch now with 2 viewers. Now let me refresh that and see what the video download was canceled. Please try again.
All I see is black.
Wow. What is going on with this today?
I gotta check on you niggas every day with this shit. I mean, they can hear us.
I mean, yeah, they can, but why the video feed was canceled? There we go.
We know
there we go. There we go.
I really don't care because you won't want to be seen. Look, nigga, I'm looking at a blank screen, nigga. I'm looking at a black screen.
Refresh your computer, nigga, because I just went on.
No, I'm looking on my TV through this damn Xbox.
Oh, refresh it then, bro, because I just pulled it up on
my shit. I backed up.
And it popped up, nigga. It don't pop up straight away when you first.
I see 2 people in there. And I see a blank ass screen.
Yeah, I don't know what you talk about. I see myself on the water, nigga, like I always do, though. But anybody that's new to the channel, make sure you go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when we go live. We got a lot we're gonna talk about tonight.
Okay, now you popped up.
Try to find out what the fuck is going on. I told you with no technical difficulties over here, nigga. It was your goddamn fucked up internet service that you got over there, that McDonald's Wi-Fi, nigga. That's what it was, nigga.
That's all right, motherfucker.
But what's
cracking? I want no French fries in here. You gonna be short.
But what's cracking though, big homie, man? What's cracking though, man?
Man, just laid here in the cut. I see your man last night didn't step on no toes. He knocked that motherfucker the fuck out.
Oh yeah, he did. He wasn't playing no games too. Masvidal, man, he talked all that shit, man, and I kind of got gassed up on him and shit last night. And I found myself rooting for him until I seen him get caught with that shit. It was picture perfect. The nigga moved one hand out the way, hit him with the other one. The nigga was asleep.
Yeah, he did.
Before he hit the ground, he just pushed him over.
Yeah, he did. Then he just jumped on his shit. I like, damn, beat him. Beat him.
Yeah,
I said, wait till I talk to Lux. You was complaining in the first fight. You like, all he did was step on his big toe all night. I said, he stepped on his big toe that night.
Toe stomping ass motherfucker. It's a
he
fight.
Jumped in his ass.
It's like biting the nigga. You gonna stomp my toes all night, bro? The fuck?
I'll tell you one thing. He stomped him in the jaw, real hard. I seen all that saliva come out his mouth. I like, damn.
Yeah,
it was him like that.
It was some damn good fights last night. I don't know if y'all checked out that UFC. That shit was real dope last night. A lot of belts changed hands last night. A lot of motherfuckers got knocked the fuck out. Oh, did I tell you about the Chris Weidman last night, man? He threw a kick, and this brother blocked the kick, and his whole shin shattered.
Damn. Woo, shit.
It was some of the nasty.
Motherfucker, boy.
Bro, he fuck. You know what, man? I would show it, but I don't want people to be like, oh, man, he's showing all this fucked up. When I say, bro, he kicked this brother, and his leg snapped instantly. It looked like man, let me show y'all this shit, bro. I'm going to go to it. Y'all check this out, Case, but I'm going to give you a little bit of entertainment tonight because I know you like seeing violence and shit. So let me go.
Hey, Jihad, you be watching MMA and boxing?
Well, as of lately, man, I just been kind of off the grid, bro.
Oh, you ain't been paid. Oh, okay. So like he ain't big up on the sports like
Jordan. Oh my
He
God.
ain't big up on the sports like we is. But Case, let me go ahead and go to this intermission so I can show you what I'm talking about, so you can see this. Go ahead. You already on the Twitch, so you can see it. Let me show you this this gruesome ass shit here.
Yeah, the Twitch is a little bit more faster real time than the.
Yes, it is. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, every time I look at it, it's like ah. And then he stepped back.
Oh
shit! This was last night.
Shit. You shouldn't have kicked that nigga. Got a bionic knee. He kicked him with that leg.
And then he stepped on it before he realized it was fucked up.
Ouch! Oh, he tried to stand on it.
That's what I said. Shit!
Oh shit! Damn!
I watched that last night. I was just like, oh damn!
Yeah,
and Pete Game
he'll never walk again.
The fight
he'll
just
never walk
started.
right again, yo.
The fight just had started.
Nah, he'll never walk right again, man.
And you want to know another crazier part? You remember Anderson Silva, right? Now,
yes, sir.
That's the first person that Anderson Silva lost to, and that's the same way Anderson Silva lost. You know that, right?
Now, I saw that one. I saw his shit cracked.
Well, look, the dude who just cracked this shit is the dude who Anderson Silva cracked his shit on.
Wow.
Same dude, same type of injury, just took him out. Ain't that? If that ain't. Huh?
That nigga got some titanium in his knee or some shit.
No, it was just a regular check kick. What it was, his shin bone had ran directly into his knee bone, bro. And
like I said, that nigga got some titanium in that knee bone.
And I'm talking about it was shit. Like soon as when they said fight, because the Chris Weidman, the white dude, he knocked out the black dude like 7 years earlier or something like that. So it's kind of supposed to be like a revenge fight. And I'm talking about bell ring. They going around, dude, throw that kick and go, bow, I heard it go, pow. He stepped back, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker can't walk. And then I seen it. I'm like, oh, his leg broke.
Like no leg. It's like his I don't know how to say it. His ankle just left his shin. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck part of that bone.
His shin bone shattered, bro. You know that shin is like
that
support.
shit is gone, yo. Oh wow.
Yeah, Jahai, man. I don't know if you just seen that, bro, but that was one of the most gruesome shit I ever seen in my life. It was worse than that Paul George shit. You remember when Paul George had fucked up his leg? It was the same type of injury in a way. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Some years ago, you don't remember when Paul George fucked his leg up running into the basketball goal, and that's why they changed the way the goals is and shit?
What year?
What year was that Paul George fucked himself up, Kaz? Wasn't that like 2013 or something like that, 2014?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was somewhere around that time, bro. He fucked this up real bad. But Kaz, you actually can't come back from that injury, bro.
It's just the carbon. The carbon on it. The calcium would just be extra stronger when it replaces stuff.
Yeah, exactly. See this the man right here that can tell you everything about nutrition and diet and everything. We're gonna talk about that too a little bit later, because I had some people that asked about you again that wanted to dive like deep off into it. Hell yeah, they wanted, and they had questions.
Hold up, Jahar, wait a minute. I don't know if I should tell everybody this, but it's true. You putting out your own vitamin J?
No, man, that's room meal. That's all fake news, man.
Oh, you say that's fake news?
Yeah.
Hey, but that sounds like something you would be into, though. You get what I'm saying, nigga? Put
vitamin J.
Goddamn vitamin J. So you got some vitamin J for these bras, huh?
After I probably, become a fucking multi-hundred-millionaire, billionaire motherfucker off crypto, I'll probably do some shit like that.
Shit, I got some shit. I got some vitamin D for these bras over here. That's what I got. Vitamin D. Protein for your face. That's what I got. Protein. Get some of this protein.
Damn.
Let me quickly get a little bit serious though, man. Let's talk about something real quick, man.
Hey, let me just say this as a response to what you just said. Say less, man. Say less.
Hey, but let's jump off into this, man. I want to talk about Irv Gotti. Did y'all hear what Irv Gotti did?
What he do this time?
He actually he came out and told what DMX really passed away from. So DMX was sick from COVID, but then they said he had got a bad batch of crack and it was laced with fentanyl. This is what Irv Gotti said on a podcast. I believe it was like a day ago, and people is dragging him through the mud for that shit.
Why Irv Gotti can't mind his motherfucking business? Shut the fuck up.
That was my point. It wasn't his business. The family ain't even put out his causes.
Now, you know what song?
Go ahead.
You know what song you got to play tonight, right?
What's that?
50. You know which one?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You want me to play the Hail Mary? You want me to play the Hail Mary?
No.
You
I want you to
say
play
looking all
I
flabby and shit
Smell
like Larry
Pussy.
Holmes and shit.
No, I smell pussy. Is that you, Irv? I smell pussy. Is that you,
But yeah, man, it just it made me reflect on something that Swiss Beats, because I actually did watch the funeral. It was actually a really, really good service. I watched it at home and shit. And it wasn't like the typical funeral where they had people doing these long ass talks. It was just singing. And one thing I loved about it, he had all of his wives and all of his kids up on the stage in one accord. And guess who was running the show? Guess who was running the show out of all the wives? Tashir, the first one.
There it is.
She was on her game. She was like,
Isn't
"This is
she
what."
The one, did she have like nine of his children?
She had a lot of them. That was the first wife, Tashir Simmons, the very first one. That had the boy, and I think she had a couple girls. She had a lot of kids by him and shit. But she held that family together, and this is what I'm talking about when I say like we need strong queens and shit. That was that brother's queen there. You know what I mean? She just couldn't take some of the things that he was taking her throughout life with helping him with his addiction and everything. But at the end of the day, she still was there, and it showed, man, because she made this statement. She said, you know, this is what this man wanted for all of his babies to be together and all the baby mothers to be on one accord. She said, and they was talking about how people was talking about how he was doing. They said DMX over the past year, it was the happiest he had ever been in his entire life. But Swiss Beats said this, and this pointed out a good thing. He say, man, you know, I'm not mad that it took me this long to figure out who's in your corner and who ain't in your corner. All these fake ass motherfuckers. He said this shit at the funeral. He was like, man, why couldn't y'all be here to support this man when he was alive? Why didn't y'all show him this much love when he was alive? Why do people want to wait till people die to show him all this fucking love? And then you got, and you better believe all the wolves is coming out the woodwork, all the thieves, everybody that want a piece of what's going on is coming out the woodwork right now, coming at these people. And Swiss kind of sees it, man, and he called that shit out, man. And these motherfuckers that we talking about is people like Irv Gotti. You know, like, I'm a man of moral. I'm a man of integrity. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like this, if the family ain't put out the official cause of death, why you know what I mean? Why you in their business?
Right.
Why you telling about what's going on with this man, but you consider yourself a friend, right? You was with him in the beginning. You discovered him. I had to pull him out of crack houses and all this other shit. But you motherfuckers ain't put a goddamn. you motherfuckers,
Ooh.
huh?
That's what Irv said. He pulled them out of a crack house.
Yeah. Oh, we had to go get him out of crack houses and all this. We weren't talking about that on a particular podcast, but he made that statement. Why you see what niggas
be smacking him up, man? I got to tell you pull somebody out of this and that, but all I gotta do is say I seen the brother in a situation and I helped the brother out of this situation and left it at that.
Unnecessary shit, man. And death reveals who people really are. I hate to say it like that. That's why I say, like, when I pass and I have my funeral, I don't want a whole bunch of fake motherfuckers at my funeral talking that don't know shit about me. You ever been at a funeral of somebody you personally knew and somebody got to talking about them and you just like, man, it's some bullshit. That ain't what my nigga was like. Huh?
Yo, check it. Right. Me and my peoples don't even do funerals, man. Like my mother, we don't want to be bothered. Like, why am I paying all this money to entertain these motherfuckers? Fuck is that for?
I mean, I feel the same way you feel. Cremate me, get it over with, have a little family dinner, everybody talking, just remember me. That's it. You get what I'm saying? That's it. But in this situation,
all these fucking people, man.
The biggest question.
His situation, he was a celebrity in the family. The first thing they did, they issued a statement claiming that this Jay-Z, Beyonce thing ain't true. No, anybody asking for any money, any GoFundMe's is a scam. Give us our privacy. We'll let you know what's going on in the upcoming days. That's letting you know. Let us have our moment.
Yep,
exactly. And then we'll give you. Then we'll let the public have him. Exactly. But let us have our moment because the majority of his life, the public had him.
And we
so now let us have him in our time of grief, and then we will be more than happy to share him with you. But right now, it's about us. He has a lot of children. It's a lot of other strings.
15. He had a stage full of them.
Plus other near close family members, associates that always been in the circle. That's it.
That's it. And that's the way it should
and the family issued that statement. Boom. That stopped all the bullshit right there. That lets you know we got this. Just let's do us. And y'all just ease off. And we're going to share the moment. But right now, this is our time as a family. And all these other lurch ass niggas looking for a way to get back in the spotlight, talking stupid shit. That's exactly why They the type of motherfuckers they are, and that's why niggas talk the shit they talk about, these bitch ass niggas.
Exactly,
always out of pocket.
Because they scumbags, bro, and it really shows it, bro. Like you shouldn't have had nothing negative to say about this man. If anything, like Kanye West put together the whole little like scenery and the visuals at the Barclays Center. Yeah, Kanye
That's
West
nice.
Swish shouted him out and he said, "Thanks, brother Kanye, for putting this together for us." That was dope.
Nice.
See, I feel like this Irv Gotti. You feel like you was very, how can I say, you was a big piece of him being successful in the beginning of and him doing all this other shit. Where were you at? I ain't seen you there, but the first thing I see is your fat motherfucking ass on TV. Well, not on TV, and a podcast talking shit about the brother and revealing how he died when the family ain't even revealed it. This the shit I be talking about these snake ass niggas and shit, bro. But go ahead.
The man is dead. So what is there to reveal?
Right.
And in his music, he told you his experiences, what he was going through. So what is there to reveal?
Exactly.
He revealed everything to you, and you can play it over and over again. So what, Irv Gotti, now you ad-libbing? What the fuck are you doing?
And that's why I say, man, it's always
that lighter together. You didn't do the lighter, nigga.
No, lighter already lit. Listen, let me tell you something. Death is a beautiful thing, and it's an ugly thing. You want me to tell you why? Because in one token, it brings people together for the wrong reason, but it brings the family together. You know what I mean? And for the second, and the reason why it's so fucked up, because obviously somebody's dead. And second, you see the vultures come out, bro. With this Black Rob situation. Did you hear what I think his manager, his name was Kyle something. Are you familiar with Black Rob's manager case?
Not offhand.
It was Kyle Dawson or something. It was one of those names. But he was pretty much explaining about how Rob, he left New York to come down to Atlanta to get some money, and wherever he was staying at in New York, those people told him, "Don't come back no more." So he was down in Atlanta, and I didn't know he was bad. Like they said, he had kidney problems or liver problems and shit. Like he had to do dialysis and everything. So pretty much Black Rob was in an apartment by himself when he died. His friend came in and found him on the floor. His legs wouldn't work. And he took him to the hospital. He didn't die the first time, but he died the second time. But the dude was explaining, because they said, well, why did you put the video up? Why did he put the video up? He was like, I was there recording the video to show people that this man really needs help. He's been reaching out. He's been doing all this other shit, but he needs help. He's a big part of hip hop. Why wouldn't you help him? And then he say 2 days later, Diddy called and he paid for the hotel room for 2 weeks and shit. And then he was saying how Jay-Z and a whole bunch of other people was trying to help. But the reason why the help was slowed down is because there was a lot of scam motherfuckers out here. Mark Curry. Are you familiar with Mark Curry?
Bad
comedian?
Yes.
Oh, bad boy.
Bad boy.
Which one? Bad boy Mark Curry.
Yeah, supposed to be Black Rob's boy, right?
Oh, okay.
So it was somebody that started a GoFundMe page for Rob. Kyle got in touch with the dude and said, well, what are you doing this for? And he's like, no, I don't know him, but I really want to send these proceeds to him. So it was a brother that was actually trying to help out, and he had raised a nice amount of money. And guess who called him and told him, like, I'm the one that's more hands-on with Black Rob. You need to send it to me. Mark Curry. Money never got to Black Rob. They got Black Rob an apartment. Once again, dude came in, found Black Rob on the floor. This time, Black Rob ain't make it out the hospital before the help even arrived, because the help was skeptical because of all the scams that was going on out here. The GoFundMes, people talking about send money here and send money here, and the brother died. So now you got, Diddy offered to pay for his fucking funeral. But see, my whole thing with Diddy is I feel like he owed that brother more. It shouldn't have took for Black Rob to be in that situation. You know what I mean? For you to want to reach out and help this brother out. This is a brother who made you millions at one point in time. We forget that brotherhood as a people. You get what I'm saying? What brothers do for each other. Like it's none of that no more. It's every man for itself, especially in that music industry. How you feel about that, Cage? Jahai, how y'all feel about that?
Well, shit, you just said it all, man. Shit is a sad story, and then you got to keep repeating the same story every time it happens.
Right.
That's the part that gets on my nerves. So it's like I get mute, man, because you see this shit all the time. And Master P jumped on the Breakfast Club and kind of touched on it real good.
Mm-hmm. I'm not laughing at you, John. I'm laughing at this nigga. That nigga struggling with that lighter, John. He just on camera struggling.
Hey, lights out. but Pete touched on it real good on the Breakfast Club.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
sir.
Yes, he did.
So and we could transition. We could transition from what Pete was talking about.
Excuse me.
We could transition from. I wait for my man to clear his throat. So we could transition from what Pete was talking about, and we can echo and kind of collab what Swiss was talking about, which brings me into a point that I wanted to chime in on as it pertains to making sure you got your fucking affairs in order.
Yes.
As a grown person.
Yes.
And,
Insurance.
I have a business. I'm a licensed producer. I'm actually licensed in insurance in the state of Illinois. So in addition to that, I have another company that I'm part of that I actually started back May 17th of last year, right after my father-in-law passed away. And then 3 weeks after my father-in-law, after we buried him, my stepdaughter was killed in a tragic car accident in Tennessee. So me and my wife had to get that. Yeah, it's just the way the nature of the game. So we had to go. My wife and I had to get the estate set up for my father-in-law and for my stepdaughter, because here's the thing about estates and wills and trusts and things like that, right? When a child is born, as soon as you take your first breath, and after the parent of that child get out of the hospital, they should be going down to the whatever municipal building in that area they live in and establish an estate on that brand new baby. A estate shouldn't be set up after you dead, or it shouldn't be something that you think about if you got a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but most of our community don't know that shit, because it's not a regular regimented conversation in our community. So I'm just here to echo that it's very important to get your trust in place. I'm not trying to sell what I'm talking about, but the reality is I jumped into the business that me and my wife started back last year in May, because we understood the importance of having your will in place, having your trust in place, having your estate in place. Now, here's something I want to close out on that point. A lot of us understand the importance of life insurance. We understand that in the Black community. We also understand the importance of wills in our community. Everybody heard about the importance of wills, but here go the kicker right here.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you off. It's a large segment of our community that don't know nothing about none of this. But go ahead, bro.
But the new community don't really. But from our age group and back, we understood that.
Yeah.
So, but here's the key thing. Here's the key thing about the will, right? The will is the last testament. But without the estate being set up, the will really can't be motherfucking implemented in its proper manner. And so you need to have the will in place. You need to have the estate established. And you need to have the fucking trust in place.
Yeah.
These three components. Those three components work hand in hand together in far as handling that business, so everything can transition over without any headache when the person transitions.
And see, listen, and that's what I wanted to explain, because I learned at an early age about, death and how to take care of everything as far as like funerals and insurance policies and all that shit. My mother died when I was 22, I believe. She passed away. And I was her primary beneficiary. And I tell you the shit that I went through. First of all, I had to find out that I was the primary beneficiary. The insurance company called me after other people made several attempts to call. But see, this is the thing that I want my people to understand. It is not cheap to bury a loved one. No, it's not. It's not. I'm talking about the minimum $8,000, man, and a lot of y'all just don't have $8,000 or $9,000 laying around.
And that's for a pine box.
Yeah, that's pretty much for the box. That ain't including the service, the catering, the flowers, and
money.
Everything that you got to deal with. No, K's is absolutely right.
All that
K's
shit is a waste of money.
Right.
I had my mother cremated. That's what she said she wanted.
Case.
My brother had his father cremated. We all do it.
But see, Case, you remember
why
what I told you?
Why we gonna pay somebody all his money just up his soul debt?
Yep. And you know what? You remember what I told you? If I had a chance to redo it over, I would have done it differently. But see, the only thing was I was respecting my mother's wishes. I know she didn't want to be cremated. I know she wanted to have a service. So I went on ahead and had a service for her. But see, if I would have had it my way, I would have cremated her. We would have had a little service at someone's house. We would have ate, and we would have just remembered her that way. Because, like, this is my thing. You are paying to put your loved one in the ground. And
don't forget that. Hold up. Don't forget that other thing.
Man, we ain't gonna talk about that, man.
Hey, Jahan, this nigga had some gators and some linen on and put them shits to work during the funeral.
Niggas being disrespectful, man.
Hey, you trust that he can always do shit like that. But check this shit out, though. Check this shit out, though, right here, though. Let me add on to what you were saying, my brother.
Go ahead.
Just to give y'all both an update on this shit, because we just got finished burying them and putting them to rest about maybe 9 months ago, 10 months ago, something like that, give or take. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing, we fresh off that. So when I was telling you I'm off the grid, because all me and my wife been doing is sitting back just healing, man. We in the garden growing food and shit, and just sitting in the sun and staying the fuck away from all type of goofy ass rigmarole from niggas and white people.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? But let me just say this though. So my daughter, she got in the car accident. So she flipped. She was doing 90-some miles per hour in the car, and the truck flipped, and so it rolled 1/10 of a mile, and she was ejected from the vehicle, and it damaged her skull to where we couldn't even do an open casket, so we had to cremate her. But I say all that to say, if you just did a cremation, going back to what Kaze was saying, if you just did a cremation, right? That shit nowadays, because of COVID and all this bullshit, you still end up paying damn near $7,000-8,000 for that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, bro. You ain't lying.
Now check this out.
Wow.
They're inflating the game on every level, bro. I mean,
wow.
A Tootsie Roll probably cost you $5 now. I'm just saying.
But see, I told Kaze that with this pandemic shit, bro, that shit was gonna go the fuck up like crazy. Because you got to think about all of the money that these businesses lost over the last year. With no funerals going on last year, all of that shit was virtual. If you remember, right?
Damn, we should have got us a funeral home. We'd have made it killer. God damn. Bought us a goddamn oven. Woo! Man.
Yeah, but he's absolutely right, though. He's not lying, bro. And it's unfortunate, man. I also had a cousin whose son passed away. His 1-year-old passed away. And they was going through that same situation, man. And I think he figured out, this is not a cheap process. And that's why I always put an emphasis on, like, people, like, we need to, first of all, pay attention to our health. And second of all, we need to, get life insurance policies. Y'all niggas spend that much. Listen, a insurance policy payment per month, you would spend more than that on weed. All you weed head ass niggas, you would spend more than that on weed, man.
Hey, yo, let me say niggas, because I feel comfortable with saying it,
Man, go ahead, bro. Speak your mind here.
But niggas spend 10 to 20 times the amount of what a fucking life insurance policy costs per month.
Yes, they do.
I can contest to that.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of money on weed.
I know.
I was looking at my weed bill.
I need to spend some money.
Damn, I'm spending a lot of money on weed.
Need to spend some more money on the goddamn lighter.
And it's hard. It's hard to get a black person in the community to actually sit down and actually get a policy, man. They thinking like, I don't need that until you're stupid.
I ain't got no insurance policy. I got right now insurance, goddamn. If I go to the hospital, they gotta pay me right now. Fuck that when I'm dead. I need the money now. That's the type of insurance I got.
Well, I ain't giving it to you right now, nigga. Till you go, nigga.
No, I'm dead. No, I'm dead serious.
Let me speak.
I have a policy. If I go to the emergency room, they have to pay me.
Go ahead, John. What you said, bro? This thing crazy to the motherfucker, bro.
But
no, I'm dead serious.
I know you is. That's why I'm laughing.
All right, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you the company I'm with, but I'm gonna tell you a company that y'all all know. Aflac. That's the insurance they sell. You know Aflac.
I used to have Aflac through my plantation.
Yeah, ask them for insurance where if you get hurt or you get injured, you got to go to the emergency room. Yeah, there's a policy for that. That's what I got. And they pay you if I'm in intensive care or anything like that. They can pay me by the day. You gotta pay.
What you talking about sounds like a time element policy. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like wage coverage. If you lose loss of income or business loss of income, then
it's like workman's comp.
You know what?
Like workman's comp.
No, it is that. But no, I don't work. But what I'm saying is, if I go to the emergency room, they have to pay me. I can put in a claim, so I'm in the emergency room. So if I was in a car accident, or if I broke my leg, or if I cold, if I had to be admitted into an emergency room, I could file a claim with my insurance company, and they have to pay me while I'm in that motherfucker.
You know why I fuck with Case? Because where there's a scam, there's a way with this nigga, bro.
It's not a scam,
buddy, bro. Go ahead. In a way,
it's not a scam.
It's not, but it ain't legit, bro. But go ahead.
It is legit. Somebody's legit. I gotta do damn emergency room bill. What the fuck? That shit is legit.
I want to get somebody for going to the emergency room. I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing wrong. Well, go ahead, John.
Yeah, but I've been paying for that policy for years. But y'all, you heard of that? But it's like you said, you work.
It's an old term for it. It's called time element.
Okay, that's not the term I knew it as. I knew it as
They restructure shit, and it be the same shit a lot of times. They just give it different names, but the original, like the name I learned when I was in insurance school, it was called time element. And it's like it's a certain payment that kicks in for you when you go through, situations like what he's talking about. If your income is interrupted, you ain't got to be no employee. You could be a self-employed motherfucker and have it.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's kind of like it's kind of like workman's comp insurance.
Nah, mine's is only for hospitalization.
Yeah, what's the name of that policy though?
I can't remember the name. It's the company's called Columbine.
I ain't never even heard of no shit like that. That's not Columbine.
I had this shit for years. I think they're underwritten by MetLife, maybe.
Yeah, it's like old people selling some old people shit.
I had this shit for a long, but it's expensive.
But
I imagine it is. That's why
it's expensive,
and that's why you can pull from it because you didn't invest in a motherfucking Ponzi to where they can afford to cut you in on the action if you ever need it.
Now let me ask you this. Now, since we talking about all this insurance shit, I got a question for both of you brothers. I already know Kay's answer to the shit though, but I got a major question for you. Do you think that black folks, especially, their priorities are in the wrong place? Especially because they don't think about that type of shit.
All the time.
Major. 24 hours a day.
It's just crazy because they don't think about those type of things. They don't think that tomorrow I could walk out the door and it could be a freak accident happen and I'm gone, and who the fuck is going to take care of this shit? You pretty much leaving your people with a fucking bill when you die. You was a bill when you die. You are a bill.
That's not true.
What do you mean that's not true?
Nobody with no damn bills. Shit.
Nigga, you are a bill, but you want me to tell you why? Because they got to bury your ass. That's the bill, nigga.
Y'all bury me. I already told my son my passwords and shit. Go right there and clean
but
all that shit out. But they still gonna
charge you to cremate you, bro.
We ain't talking about K's. We ain't talking about K's. We talking about the average.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. But K's always compare shit to him, and I be telling him, like, can't do that, bro.
Niggas need to use their mind.
We talking about the average melanated yuppie.
Yep. They don't prioritize that type of shit, man. They're just like
they're doomed.
That's just like I was talking about, like, black people prioritize taking their asses to work and being away from their kids all goddamn day long. They prioritize giving away their time to all the wrong folks. They prioritize spending their money and putting their money in the wrong shit. And, like, I hate to talk like that about my people, and it's not all of them, but it's a large population of them, though, bro, that just, their priorities is all fucked up, man.
And I don't believe in devil's advocate, so I'm going to do a little God's advocate real quick. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look across the scale and look at the other tribes on the planet, I guarantee you that the same numbers, if not higher, exist in those communities, too.
The same numbers of what? What numbers?
As far as being irresponsible with your finances.
Oh, yes, it's all over. But I'm talking about it's more prevalent here. That's just like me and Kays was talking about this country in a group of, we not gonna call them black, but the indigenous people that's here. We are the only ones in this country that don't have a nationality to identify from. I'm stumbling over my words like crazy.
No, but I totally get it.
We don't have a nationality to identify from, and I feel like that is the major reason why we're not together, like, as a culture, like the rest of these cultures. Like, when you see the Chinese, they all together and they stick together. Them Puerto Ricans, they stick together like a motherfucker. Mexicans, every other nationality, they stick together and they look out for each other. Our group, we are in competition with each other. We want to feel bigger than the next man that look like us. You know what I mean? We want to impress these people that don't give a fuck about us.
So, let me ask you a question, because it's like the same song.
Mm-hmm.
So
all around the world.
What's the solution? What is the solution, man?
I try to talk about those solutions all the time. In the words of my brother Kays, what he say all the time, leave them motherfuckers alone. Stay the fuck out of them way and let them destroy themselves. But as a responsible, I was about to say, as a responsible brother, that got some knowledge. I don't have all the knowledge. I learn new shit every fucking day. You understand me? Like, I feel like it would be an irresponsibility, for me to not even, like, say my opinion on what's the solution. What could we do to better our communities? You know what I mean? What could we do to get out of this this fucked up ass mind state that we've been in for like hundreds of years now, bro? Yo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just wanted to say that Kays wasn't all the way wrong with his statement, but just to give it a more sensible type of response is we just got to learn how to educate the babies on how to leave wills instead of bills.
Yes, true. And I'm a firm,
like that one.
Yep, and I'm a firm believer of this, and I always say this, man. I'm like, motherfuckers talking about change. You know where change is gonna start? Right here with my kids. My kids is where the change start, bro.
Yeah, it have to. It have to. Let me add to that. It's just with your kids and your neighboring kids, because if you just teach your kids that shit, and if we don't teach the community kids that shit, then our kids is in trouble, because it's gonna be fucked up.
It's true, but see, you gotta understand. And then we got parents in the community that operate like, nigga, don't be trying to teach my kids shit.
You know what? Let that motherfucker
you understand
like
what I'm saying? It's just like back in the day. You ever hear your people say, not only did you get your ass whooped from the neighbor, when you got home, you got your ass whooped by me and your daddy.
Right.
What they say, it takes a village to raise a child. That's not prevalent nowadays. The village is divided.
Yeah, it is. But the twos and fews of us, like what we're doing right now, is the example of all it takes is just a few of us to do what we're doing with, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like where I'm at, you know, my god kids, they pops is my god kids' mother and father incorporate me and my wife and damn near everything them kids do, man. So it's like, you know, they ain't my biological, but sometimes I get frustrated with the little motherfuckers. But
that's because you treat them like they're your biologicals.
Yeah, cause they get on my nerve, man. But kids gonna do shit. Let me just say this: children gonna always do what children are expected to do because they're children.
Right.
So, but we get frustrated with them, and we don't want to be part of the village to be that incremented added help to the motherfucking piece to the puzzle to help them have a better direction, man. But
that's true.
The reality of it is, I don't believe in beating shit into kids either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
hey, listen, I don't believe it either. I believe in ass whoopings, though. I believe in ass whoopings.
I do believe in ass whoopings, but it gets to a point where if you see the ass whoopings are not really helping, now it's abuse.
Yeah, no, that's because, you know what, people have a tendency to do this. You got to find what works with your kid. Like, I noticed with my son and shit, right? I could whoop him all day long. He's still going to do the same shit, but he responds different when I sit down and talk to him.
Yep.
And explain stuff to him. And he only 2 years old. He'll be 3 next week. But I sit down and talk to my son. He responds better to that. And people like, oh, you need to whoop his ass. I'm like, no, I'm not about to beat my child because you feel like he's doing something wrong. I know what I need to do with my child. I sit and talk to him. If I see him doing something wrong, I correct him. But like, far as like, I'm with you. I don't agree with beating the shit out of your kids for every little thing. That's
I tell you to show the video. Huh? That video worked.
Which one? What, the video?
You
just be trying to scare the shit out of my kids, niggas.
What do you mean?
You think it's funny to scare the shit out of the kids and shit.
I ain't scared. I just all you gotta do is say, "Hey, this nigga go get."
Like, no, don't show me that, daddy.
You know what happened, Jahar? There was this the video. It was some kids in the barbershop stealing, and that barber got his belt out and started whooping their ass.
It was the dad.
Oh, the dad was somebody in there pulled out their belt and whooped both them twins' ass. They're like, no, we won't do it again. And start tearing up ass like
in that barbershop.
Yeah. They was stealing. Some shit you need to whoop your kids for, man, because I'm also a firm believer of this. I'm gonna whoop my kids' ass so the streets don't whoop their ass. And you got to teach these kids early, man. There's consequences behind their reaction, and I feel like that's the biggest problem with these kids that's coming up now. They don't realize there's consequences behind they actions. You get what I'm saying? And then you got too much of these females that's calling their sons daddy or saying their daughter is their best friend and shit. Where the fuck? When I was younger, I with my mama best friend, nigga. You better get the fuck up out of grown folks' face.
Get your ass whooped again by all of us.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Get your ass up out of grown folks' face. We downstairs kicking it. You going upstairs. You get what I'm saying? It was a respect factor. It was like my mother put the fear of God in me, and it wasn't just from beatings. It was just a respect thing. Like, you know, you gonna respect me, so when you go out in the streets, you respect other people because you are a reflection of me when you walk out into the street. And I don't think a lot of these young brothers get it. Like you embarrassing your family when you go out here and do some of the shit that these little niggas got going on now. Like, I don't know, you say you in Illinois, right? It's a problem with carjacking up here now. Are y'all having that same issue down there?
Where at?
You say you in Illinois, right?
Chicago, nigga.
You in Chicago. Okay, you in Chicago. So is it a carjacking issue going on like it is here?
Right.
Like, these niggas is playing full out GTA on each other now. And it's getting to the point to where they robbing broads, pulling pistols on the chicks, pulling them out the car. They don't give a fuck.
I hear that.
They don't give a fuck. Bitch. They don't give a fuck. And this young nigga, when they get caught as young niggas, I'm talking about it's so alarming. 15, 16, 17 years old, and some of them are committing like murder and atrocities during while they doing these crimes and shit, not realizing they never about to see the light of day. And people be like, and I feel like in a way that's bad parenting. That you don't look like, okay, I knew I was 15, I was 16 years old. There's a lot of shit my parents know that I ain't did. But my parents was also in my business enough for me not to do some of the fucked up things that I see these young niggas do. If you know what I mean. Like they instill certain shit into me. Like, you know, like if you see.
I don't blame the parents sometimes. I blame the individual because I know niggas that came from good houses and did all
me
kind
too.
of
Me too.
shit.
Me too.
So sometimes it could just be the individual, yo.
Yeah, but
they probably even have enough sense to even know what they doing is wrong.
Not at all. And see, would you kind of put some of the blame on this new like hip hop culture that they got going on?
No.
Why you say that? Why you say that, guys?
Listen, man.
But I want you before you answer though. Before you answer, I want you to think about how big of an influence hip hop was on you when you was younger. Before you answer that question, think about how big of an influence it was on you. Before you answer that question. Okay. So you thought about it. Go ahead, tell me your answer.
Hip hop, it have never influenced me on my decisions I did in the streets.
No, it didn't. But I'm talking about. Let's be realistic, bro. Hip hop culture is the reason why niggas got Timbs on. Hip hop culture is the reason why niggas dress a certain way. Yes, it is. It may not be you.
You know, you gotta understand because you asking me. You asking somebody that came from the beginnings of hip hop when we set the motherfucking trends. What the fuck we wore? And what the fuck I seen somebody on stage, nigga. We the ones. Niggas in the street. You just asked me.
Yeah, I did.
You just asked me.
I did just ask me. Go ahead.
You just asked me. Look at it. Hip hop, and I'm telling you. How could hip hop influence me when me and my brother Jahar was there in the beginning and essence, and we the ones that influenced hip hop? It wasn't even hip hop influenced us. We was hip hop.
Okay, well, as influencers, as hip hop.
Nigga, when we used to say Jahar back then, we hip hop, right or wrong.
Listen,
I agree with you, man, but I do understand what the brother's asking too. You know what I'm saying? And to a degree, okay, let me just say it like this for the sake of argument. When we was doing hip hop before the gangster era came out, we all know NWA was like the spearhead of gangster rap as we know it from the West Coast. Outside of your boy Ice-T, who was pretty much really a real hip hop nigga. Even though he was gangster rap for hip hop for West Coast before NWA,
but he wrote rhymes.
The real grimy, slutty gangster shit didn't kick off to NWA and them started. You know what I'm saying? But that shit influenced motherfuckers. But we just being pre-dinosaur hip hop, being that we was pre-NWA, we never got influenced by that shit.
I gotta disagree with you. You know why? You see 5 Heartbeats, right?
Yeah.
Everybody see
what happened to what was Eddie Kane doing, Jr. doing at the very beginning? These R&B niggas singing love song. What was that nigga doing? Gambling, getting high, shooting shit up, robbing shit, street nigga shit.
Yeah, but
had nothing to do with the music.
Bunch, bro.
That's why I say but no, what I'm trying to say is you can never blame the music on what niggas is already doing before the music.
You know what? I agree. The streets is what influenced the music because the music was the art that reflected what was going on in real life.
Thank you. Yeah.
And see, that's my point. So as how can I say trendsetters in the game, K's? I'm gonna use that term with you as a trendsetter in the game. Are you a little bit disappointed by the influence in the music nowadays?
No, I'm not, because the trendsetter is the 15, 16, 17-year-old. It's always been like that.
Right.
Motherfuckers
I'm talking about this
always watch what trends.
I'm talking about this new trend, deaf, kill, get high as you can, disrespect females, all that shit.
Master Ace put out an album, Sitting on Chromes. What was the name of that song? Murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. This the slaughterhouse? It's the slaughterhouse. Come on, man. Always been there.
Bro.
This ain't nothing new.
Bro.
Ozzy Osbourne making devil worship, killing music. This is nothing new. AC/DC. I'm going to beyond hip hop. I'm going to rock and roll. White folks. The music ain't got nothing to do with it. Man, been doing shit before music.
Let me ask you this. No, because like Case, you're wrong to a certain degree, brother. Like
I'm not
very
wrong.
Rare that I disagree with you, bro. Because I'm trying to make a point to you of how hip hop influenced our culture. Period. You ain't looking.
I can't agree on that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Let me make a prime example before you go on. Let me make a prime example, bro. Like when I was coming up rapping, it was, how can I say it? it was cooler to be the drug dealer than the drug user, than the dope head. Now it's cool to be a dope head instead of a drug dealer.
I don't agree with that
What
at
do you
all.
mean you
Ain't
don't
cool to be no
agree? What do you-
fucking fiend.
what do you
Ain't
mean?
never been cool to be a fiend.
Huh? No, I'm
Ain't
talking about
never
now.
been cool to be a
Obviously, it is
fiend.
because this all these niggas rap about is being
That
fiends
shit
now.
ain't cool. That don't mean it's
There's
cool.
young niggas out here overdosing off perks because they hear this shit in songs and they want to try it.
Listen, Billie Holiday was on drugs.
Was she
Do
talking?
I have to
Was
go
Billie
on?
Holiday singing about heroin?
She was singing about something that had her feeling good.
But she wasn't singing about heroin.
She was singing about something that had her feeling good.
Oh my God, a man maybe.
No, listen, motherfuckers do metaphors all the time. It's always been known in the music culture, metaphors. Don't get it twisted. You looking at the time and the period, and you're not really listening to the lyrics. And think about the song by D'Angelo, Brown Sugar. He talking about weed.
Okay, let me make.
That nigga ain't talking about no woman. He talking about weed.
Let me make another example then, since you can't see that point that I'm making. All right, diss songs. You remember niggas used to like diss and battle rap about each other. It was about skill back then. Now niggas making diss songs talking about pissing on niggas' graves. It was just some dumbass nigga in Chicago that went and pissed on his op's grave, and they came back, caught his stupid ass at the McDonald's and shot his baby and killed her instead of his black ass.
Unfortunately, we live in a culture where social media wants the next man.
Where they dissing the dead. Where they dissing the dead.
What we would used to do.
That's banging now.
But in our art form, we would try to outdo each other on the wheels and stills.
Mm-hmm.
We would try to outdo niggas. Niggas would try to outdo niggas performing. Niggas would try to outright a nigga. Look at how that time. What was that big battle when my man Loaded Lux came out there with the black roses and the women.
That was against Calico. That was against Calico.
But it was a production. See, these niggas ain't got in their head. They don't know what the fuck they doing. They ain't got it the right way. They don't know how to put the production together.
And metaphorically, metaphorically speaking, for Loaded
when
Lux,
you make some money.
Listen, Loaded Lux is an artist. He has substance to his music. He was making a point that I am going to put you in a grave lyrically. And listen, at your funeral, I'm gonna give you a eulogy.
And these cats is putting out music now ain't thinking on that level. They on some street, but they ain't.
No, they trying to out beef and out gangster each other. That's what they trying to do.
Let me tell you something. Now, Jahar grew up in Chicago, right? That was a gang culture. But when we went to hip hop events, there was GDs, BDs. There was all types of different sets, but they was all there for that one thing, and that was that microphone.
You can't do that now. You can't do that now because of why?
No, you still could do that. You just can't do that with motherfuckers that's not into the art. You have motherfuckers that do what they fucking do, and you got motherfuckers that have a respected platform where niggas know they come there for that one thing.
Let me ask you this, Jahad, you in Chicago, because we the brother just been sitting back listening to me and you. Let me ask you this question. You in Chicago right now, right? Do you think you can get GDs and BDs in the same room together? And
right now I could because I'm from a cloth where I've always done that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My peer group, when I grew up in the city, I grew up, I ain't gonna get into all the different particulars, but I was on one side of the fence and there was other cats in other areas representing their flags. But because we was into hip hop, like Kay was saying, and he was there watching it because niggas was around watching us go through this shit. Like we was at the
I'm a neutron.
Yeah, Kay was considered a neutral guy because he wasn't part of he wasn't affiliated like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
neutral ass nigga.
But all of us that ran with the people that he hung with, on average, all of us was some type of way street gang affiliated, and because of that, we was the people that allowed we kind of put we was the people that put the fires out because we was some of our closest homies that got on the breakdancing mat that spit bars with us and freestyle in circles. These niggas was gang leader regions that they called over certain neighborhoods and shit. So that was the majority of the people that was around us.
And and another big difference, that's when y'all actually had an authority presence around. And it was structure in the gangs at that time. Let's be honest. It wasn't like it is now to where niggas is like individually, it isn't like a whole gang now. It's like little pockets of gangs. If you pay attention now, cliques and shit of niggas that be together that claim certain blocks and shit. It ain't like it was to where if you was a GD or you was a BD, it was one nigga running all of that shit.
Right.
It was one nigga that was ahead of all that shit, and niggas fell in line with that nigga. You don't have that. It's pure turmoil. It's a free fall now.
Yep, that's facts.
So it's a whole different. It's a whole different fucking story. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's why I said it's amazing that I'm not from Chicago. I've only been to Chicago 3 times. I don't know what's going on the inside. So you can tell me a little bit about. You can explain a little bit more about what's going on the inside when it comes down to that situation. You can explain it better than I can.
I can tell you. Once they locked the heads up, they came through there and did they did what they call it's called a conspiracy charge.
Mm-hmm. Like, so that's kind of like that RICO shit.
Yeah, and they swept all the gangs off the streets with this conspiracy charges. And the conspiracy charge only took 3 people to say you did it and your ass done it and you going to jail.
But they swept up the niggas that had some type of authority. Those was the niggas that they wanted.
Well, actually, they got them, and then they came through. Like, I remember when they first started coming through the land back in the early 90s, they came and got the Blackstones. Those are brothers up under the 5, and they came through like 300, 400 brothers up in one sweep. And then they went and got the GDs, and they gathered up like when you go out in the ocean in certain areas on the West Coast or in the southern regions of the country, and you just put this big ass net, these big ass boats, and they just gather up a lot of oysters and lobsters all at one time. That's how they did all the sets. And then later, maybe 6-7 years down the road, they finally came and got the BDs the same way they got the GDs and the Blackstones and the Latin Keys and the La Razas, the Spanish gangs. It was just a sweep. It was all up under the conspiracy charge act. So they was locking up heads, but they was also locking up damn near the whole fucking crew.
Right, and that just left.
I feel like this. Let me just say this: they did a BMF sweep, like they did the BMF. They came. When I was in Atlanta at the time when they came in and locked up Meech and them. Okay, on the road, I'm driving on the streets the same way they got on 20 going downtown Atlanta, and it was all on the news. They did a sweep with the BMF. They hit them in like 4 or 5 states at the same time. It was a synchronized hit, or whatever you want to call it. What they call it when they come lock you up?
A sweep. They call it a sweep.
Yeah. They came through. They hit all the key spots at the same time, and retrieved and confiscated so much dope, man. It was crazy, and locked Meech and all them up. So it was like the same thing they did with Meech and them. They had already practiced that regiment on Chicago 8-9 years prior.
Yep. And see, pretty much when they did that, it left a vacuum of niggas that had no structure around.
Exactly.
That's what it left, a vacuum of niggas who had no structure around, kids, babies.
These were babies who didn't even know shit about none of that shit.
And listen, it was another thing, and this the one thing that I always talk about. Niggas lived by a certain code back then. You know what I mean? Niggas had different like standards and morals when it came down to the shit, even though, like it's a lot of niggas that's immoral and shit. But I'm talking about you wouldn't just going to go knock somebody off just to be knocking somebody off without nobody approving of that shit. You wouldn't shooting around the babies and killing broads and shit on accident without it being no consequences behind that shit. Now, there's no consequences behind that shit. There's nobody like, nah, man, leave that shit alone, man. That's going to be bad for business. Yep. There's nobody around to say that. It's niggas just purely acting off emotion. And the other reason why I asked you, you know what I mean, how would you get those kids together? Like, I watch a lot of shit. Don't misunderstand me. I watch the news up there. I watch a lot of documentaries and shit about what's going on. It's just been so much bloodshed there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you get a person that lost like 2 of his cousins to this set over here? How do you get that same set together?
You can't really do it because it's kind of like Pakistan and motherfucking Israel. How long they been fighting?
Man, long ass motherfucking time, bro.
Hundreds of years. It's a beef. Once you whack my auntie, and she was innocent, now cats gonna go back and whack your auntie and your uncle, and then you gonna be mad about that. You gonna come back and whack the grandma, and it ain't gonna never stop. It's kind of like Pakistan and until everybody whack. It's gonna keep going.
Yeah, it's a very, very vicious cycle, man. It's hard to like break out of it. Like a lot of times, I always, I tend sometimes to put like the state of like the black community on white folks and white supremacy, but you can't really do that. That's why I always say to a certain extent, it's our fault too.
No, it's a major percentage of it that makes it our fault, but
yeah, it is. It's our fault.
It's never in the story, man. It's never in the story. Let me just paint it like this, man, because. I grew up. I transitioned from the streets and moved into the masjid, and I was walking around straight Muslim for a long time, and that saved me from the streets. You know what I'm saying? So while I was in there, I had a chance to kind of reflect on, and look at things in a different light, because I had a chance to be around older brothers who was accomplished. Like when I moved into Mars, it wasn't just a bunch of bummy ass niggas that ran from the streets to move into Mars. It was a lot of, when I was in the Mars, it was doctors, lawyers, teachers, some of the most top professional type motherfuckers with a billion degrees. So I had a chance to learn and get wisdom from the old heads in the Mars that took me to that next level on into my adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
So my point in saying all that to say that they gave me different perspectives on this shit. So yeah, like you said, it's a vicious cycle, but it's just like everything on the planet. The majority is always going to be to the wayside, and there's always going to be a few of whatever you talk about in life, from stocks to crypto to hoes, niggas, weed. It's even crypto. Like, it's 9,000 plus cryptos on the market, but only maybe 100, 200 of them is really viable.
Mm-hmm. And they don't. That's why me and K's feel the importance to like try to educate people on cryptocurrencies. We don't tell them what they should invest in because we're not financial advisors, obviously.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
We kind of give them an idea of what you should be looking at and what you should be into right about now. Educate themselves.
Niggas educate themselves, man. Law is about to come, because if you read them stimulus package laws, it already said this is gonna happen. So you a damn fool if you don't learn this shit now, because all them banks is gonna do is take custodial over your assets and still fuck you over like they've been doing for all these fucking years. Everybody else's banks, all they do is take our money and loan it to somebody else and charge us to do it. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
You gonna charge me to loan somebody my damn money and you get paid on it and charge me to do it. That's all the fuck banks do.
That ain't just banks. That's every type of that's damn near every type of business you can think of in America. Is predatory.
Yeah, very, very predatory. And this was my thing, man. It's just like me and K's talk about it. I ain't worked a job, bro, in almost a year and a half, man. Like, just walked away. You know what? I didn't walk away. COVID kind of forced the nigga away. You understand? But throughout that time, man, I got to realizing something, man. Black folks, man, I don't know if y'all feel the way that I feel, man. A job is not good for our mental health at all.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you why, man? Because, like, it's bad enough we being oppressed in the world, but you go to work, you being oppressed, you around motherfuckers that really don't like you. They looking for reasons to fire you, and they trying to work the shit out of you. And they taking time out of your life, like a large percent of time out of your life, to the point to where you don't have time to sit back and like think about your life. There was a study that was recently done, and it was an African-American study, to where they was talking about 87% of black folk don't want to go back to work after the pandemic. And they listed the reasons why, because and the number one reason why is because they actually had time to sit back and think about their life. Spending time with their kids, how much time they actually was away from their kids. You get what I'm saying? Going to like little events that they catch, shit that you normally miss when you go to a job, because when you at a job, you program, you work, you go home, take a shower, sleep, get up, and you all at it again.
Mm-hmm. So, I totally agree.
So, like, like when they tell me, because people like, oh, you be preaching not to go get a job. I'm like, you goddamn right, because for so long it's been preached to us to go get a job that we will never advance in. Because let's be honest, man, those spots of advancement is not meant for us. It never was.
There's no advancement
at all. So we just working just to stay ahead, man. We not working to get into a different tax bracket and shit. Only how you work to get into a different tax bracket if you go out here and work on your fucking own. A lot of y'all make $500 a week on average. A lot of people that's out here, you know what I mean? They make $500 on average a week. That was a study that was actually done. And if you making $500, think about this, man. That's $100 in 5 days. If you can't do that on your own, figuring out some type of way, which a lot of people over this pandemic have found out different ways to make money from sitting at home. Cryptocurrencies is one of them. Streaming is one of them. Hair shops, all that shit is popping up now. People are working for themselves now, and they starting to realize that they have been slaves the whole time.
Yeah. I could chime in on that, because I had to concur with you on that. And I'm glad you kind of touched on that, because that's one of my favorite subjects.
Let's go, bro.
I'm a serial entrepreneur, man.
Uh-huh.
Cage will tell you, whenever you ever know me to work for somebody else.
I ain't never know you to work for anybody else.
I can admit that I worked my ass off for about a good 10, 15 years. Since I was 19 years old, I've been working, and I just recently stopped.
Guess what? I salute you. I don't knock anybody who work a job, because shit, you got to bring some money in the house. You got to take care of things. So I get it, you know. But the thing about it, I should do presentations like all over the fucking place, all over the country, bro, and outside the country too. And what we learned, and it's kind of piggybacking what you just said about the 500 a week. We found out that the average person, well, we just get the numbers because it's right there on paper already. You know, corporate America sells you on a 40-year compensation plan. Mm-hmm. So within them 40 years, you supposed to have accrued enough money into the motherfucking pool to where when you finally retire, it's some Social Security for you on the other end.
Yep.
Waiting to take, so you can ride out your last 10 to 15, 20 years if you're blessed after you start working. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So the reality is you're working 40 hours a week times 4 weeks. What's that? 180, 160 hours a month, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And you pretty much, a lot of people work 12 hours a day.
Yeah, see, it's different now because they stressing you to work overtime and they scare you because you don't want to lose your job because they got 10,000 motherfuckers waiting to take your place.
Right.
You know,
that's the truth. That's the truth. You're not valuable to any job. Believe that.
Yeah, you're totally expendable. You know, and the thing about it, that's what's that? 160 hours a month times 12 months. That's what 1,900 hours a year, I want to say. Then you multiply that times 40 years for working in the 40-year comp plan is 40 years that you can retire. So that's about 80,000 hours of your sweat equity you giving to another motherfucker. Okay,
right. And and guess what? There is no interest gaining on that.
None.
There is no when I'm done, my son guaranteed to have this position or my son guaranteed to have some of this money.
Unless you were smart enough to make sure you had unless you had a $1 million life insurance policy on all of your babies, everything from the age 0 to 18 or 24, you could put $1 million policy on that child, a life insurance policy at $1 million face amount, and you're paying about 10 to 15, $20 a month for these policies. Then by the time them kids get 18, that they could pull $500,000 of that face amount to go pay for their full ride to school, their car, their marriage, their house. They could be totally debt free going into school if we practice that regimen. Now you got to
that's another thing. People don't know about this. But go ahead, bro. Educate them.
Yeah, and that's why I'm dropping the jewels. You know what I'm saying? So it's just changing what we do because we know that what we all know, we all smart on this phone, that the biggest consumer dollar in the country is Nubian black people. You know what I'm saying? So we're not broke. We're not broke. We just got to reallocate
$3 billion a year we spend.
Yeah, we just got to reallocate how we spend the money because we got cash flow. We just got to reallocate it and make it work for us. You know what I'm saying? So going back to what I was saying with what Kay was saying earlier and what you just said about hey, black people don't want to go back to work because they realize this, that, and third, and that's great. So the reality is we want to get some money coming up our street instead of Wall Street. And we have all the fucking resources to do it.
Yes, at this day, you know, at this particular point in time, present day, we get all the tools that we need to be successful as far as like advertising, marketing, everything. We have it all here. And let's be realistic. I always say this. Black folks make shit pop.
Always have.
You understand what I'm saying? A nigga could take a hat and put something on the hat, turn it sideways, and it'd be the flyest thing on God's green earth if enough people know him.
We just made the fucking mask fashionable, so you know how that shit go.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Black people know how to make shit pop. It's like we put flavor to shit. One thing with my people that I always stress to them too, man, you gotta understand your worth. That's the first and main major thing is understanding your worth. And you have to ask yourself, is my time, how many hours you say that, what's that, 1,600 hours a year?
1,900 hours a year.
Is that worth your time? You get what I'm saying? This job, is that worth it? You got to figure out what your worth is, like what your time is worth and all that other shit. Like you got to start figuring that out. When you create something, people don't know how to put their worth on what they create because they're afraid they not going to buy it if they make it too high. Just like Nipsey Hussle made a fucking point before he died. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to the brother. When he put out that CD, wasn't that CD like $100?
I don't know. I didn't follow close. You know, Nipsey became super more important and more.
It was when he put that CD out for $100.
Well, I know he became more popular once he died. Prior to that,
he did.
A lot of motherfuckers didn't know what the fucking Nipsey Hussle was.
Yeah, he did. But you know, I listened to Nipsey because the brother was dropping knowledge. Though he was dropping knowledge like a motherfucker. If you listen to him, he was a well woke brother.
Yeah, I like him though.
Very woke. But see, he made a point when he was doing that. He knew his worth. All these years I've been putting out this music and all this other shit. Y'all don't understand my worth. Now I feel like my shit is worth $100. He put out his CD for $100. Hove bought like 10 of them bitches the very first day. And when Hove bought 10 of them, guess what happened? Everybody else followed along. They wanted to hear this shit. This a CD for $100. But that brother knew his worth. He knew if I got my CD in the hands of somebody, if I done something polarizing like what I just did, make my CD $100, niggas is gonna buy this shit to check it out, and they gonna find out that it's dope.
Yeah.
You understand me? It was a marketing strategy, but it was all off confidence, bro. You got to be a confident motherfucker to put out a CD for $100. I don't care who you is. To put out some music, an album.
I think that's dope, though, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, but how many? Wow.
No, he
was an anomaly, man.
Yeah, he was an anomaly, man. He really was, bro. That's why I say, man, it seemed like, and guess what? He was taken out by one of his own. Taken out by one of his own, somebody who looked just like him, bro. And I'm just sitting back here thinking like the Tupac Shakurs of the world, what type of impact they would have had if they didn't die. The Biggie Smalls of the world, what type of impact they would have had if they didn't die on this thing that we call hip hop. Would a lot of people still be out that's out now? I don't believe so. And that was the point that I was trying to make with K's earlier about how the game has changed, how the culture has changed so much. We looking up, we seeing these brothers in motherfucking spandex pants walking around now with big ass shoes that look like PlayStation controllers. I know y'all be paying attention to that shit. Am I right or wrong though? This is why I say that music. You don't see these niggas with these tight ass pants on now, K's. Stop it. The pants that got tighter and tighter over the years.
I don't be looking at niggas. I be looking at bitches.
Nigga, I don't either, but I'm just talking about, bro, I'm talking about the influence on the culture. I know you're not looking at niggas. I'm not looking at niggas either, but I just see the type of shit that they put on TV, the imagery of the black man. It looks ridiculous now. We have
about that. It's for the sake of argument. Mm-hmm. When me and my nephew was cracking up about that shit maybe a couple months back. Mm-hmm. And a few other people I was talking to about it. And like, for example, when we go back to like the 60s and the 70s and look at motherfucking Commodores, how them niggas was dressing. Mm. That shit was Tutti Frutti on Rudy too back in the 70s.
Yeah, it was, but that's when they was all with that old punk rock bullshit, whatever the fuck. Everybody wanted to be a fucking rock star. Rick James used to wear some weird ass shit too.
But if you look how them niggas was dressing, majority of them, from motherfucking Prince to motherfucking my man from the time, what's his name?
Morris
Day to Commodore. Them niggas, but them niggas had some tight ass motherfucking pants on, man.
Prince used to have chaps on with the ass cheeks out.
I'm talking about all that old goofy ass shit. And, so niggas been doing weirdo shit for a minute. It's been just recycling itself. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It seemed like that and recycled itself a lot more now. It was just like, it's just weird when I see some of the shit. Like, it's a motherfucker, what's his name? Lil Uzi Vert, whatever the fuck they call it. This motherfucker got a diamond in his fucking forehead.
Man, I don't understand none of this stuff, man.
That shit, it's the imagery of the black man. That's what I'm saying. Go look at an image of a black man from the 1900s to the 1970s, and then look at the image of a black man from, I'm gonna say, around 2000 to now.
Well,
and you will see a major difference.
I put you like this. You're correct in everything that your observation has shown you, right? Mm-hmm. However, I'll say this, not playing devil's advocate, I'm gonna play God's advocate.
Okay.
Man, when you look back in all the different areas, all the different dynasties that our people existed in from centuries back, you're gonna always have a crowd of motherfuckers doing shit like that. It's always gonna be like, okay, you go back to slavery. Like, we sitting here, we might have a different perspective on slavery than, let's say, Kanye West, who said it's a fucking choice. Now check this out.
Which in a way I didn't disagree with him, but go ahead.
In a way I didn't disagree with him either, but I'm just making a point. I'm kind of bringing it all together so I can really get my point on. So if you go back to the slave trade eras and shit, with niggas being shipped up out of there, and I think Senegal was the port that brought a lot of niggas up out of there, if I want to recall correctly.
No, I believe it was
where your boy Akon from.
Senegal was a part of it, but it was another country. I think it was don't quote me if I'm wrong on this. I believe it was where's the one?
Let's just say the other one's called Compton, but I want to get to the point.
Okay.
So
Ghana, that's what it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ghana. Okay, cool. So you're gonna agree when I say this when I bring this home. So like even during that time when motherfuckers was getting cuffed up and brought and shipped off, it was always a Nat Turner type of nigga in that episode.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sell out niggas everywhere.
so the Nat Turner type nigga was the nigga who wouldn't wear the motherfucking tight pants. That's me. I'm a Nat Turner type. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna enslave me. I'm not finna lay down and just let you. It's a rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Exactly.
G,
exactly.
Let me ask you a question, G.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really believe that these crackers stole 100 million people from Africa with that bullshit technology?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You believe that shit?
That they stole 100 million people?
No,
in the 1600s.
It was a nigga who delivered them. You know what I mean? It's all.
No. Listen what I'm saying. Do you believe it was 100 million people?
I think that number was a little far fetched. I do.
How far fetched?
I wouldn't say 100 million. I would say at least 10 million. I wouldn't say 100 million. 100 million is a lot of fucking people, bro. It's a lot of people.
This how you know.
That's a lot of trips.
This how you know. This how you know, because in Chicago they had a fairground called the White City. Y'all ever did the research on the White City in Chicago?
No, I
y'all
never
need
did.
to pull it up when y'all get some time. Pull it up. It's on my timeline, K. You can pull it on you can find it on my timeline.
I can pull it up right now. Now while we watching. What is it called?
Right. The White City, which is a fairground that happened between I think May and October back in the 1800s. And this fairground was authorized by the president of the United States at that time, and all the clandestine white folk.
The White City, Chicago.
Yeah. Now check this out. Now here's my point, because it's gonna go back to what y'all was saying. 27 million people used to show up to that shit, and it was like a 2 or 3 month fucking fair, and African Americans and white women was not allowed to participate in that shit. And check this out. That 27 million that showed up to that fair was most of the population in the United States at that time.
What?
So go back to but this is what I'm saying.
But look at the population, though. Look at the population.
No, this is what I'm saying. We know back in those times the trip across the Atlantic must have took what, 3-4 months? Right or wrong?
No, listen to this. Listen to this. I'm about to tell you.
No. I just want to get this one point across. So 3-4 months it take for these boats to go across the Atlantic, right? How many people you think could be held on them boats?
I think those were 6 months 6 month voyages, bro.
So 6 months. How much food you think they can hold on a boat for 6 months? You gotta have people gotta piss, shit, eat, cook. You got the winter time, keep warm. Come on, man. They didn't have that many damn boats. How many people are gonna carry on a boat? I do the math, nigga. I break down the math. The math makes more sense. And like you said, if it was only 27 million motherfuckers, how the fuck for the first 300 years y'all brought 100 million motherfuckers? How? Where?
I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe
you didn't have the technology to do it.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why I gave you the time reference of how many people that was in the country.
Right. Shit, you can't get 100 million motherfuckers in the United States right now. That quick. You got planes, ships, and all kinds of shit.
Case, we know that 98% of history that they taught us was bullshit. When you do the math on all of that, when you do the math and put 2 to 2 together on all of that shit, it don't make sense.
How about this? They told us for a long time that we was the minority. How in the fuck did that ever make sense?
Right. We ain't a minority on the planet. If anything, they're a minority. Niggas is all over the fucking world. Think about it. Name a country, I'll tell you it's niggas there. It's melanated people there. Name a country besides a European country, and it's still niggas there. Yeah. So how the fuck? You are absolutely right. How are we the minority? But this is the thing. We have been brainwashed and made to believe that we are the minority.
Just like we being brainwashed to beat on these shorties and make them feel like they doing something weird and different, when all they doing is repeating the cycle of weird and different motherfuckers from every cycle that we done been in.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I think that is, and I always talk about this. I think that's because niggas chose to subscribe to European monogamy.
Yeah, that's all that is, man.
Like real shit. I had to tell a brother that shit. I'm like, that's because y'all subscribe to this European monogamy bullshit.
It's European culture influence.
Like, period. Like, let me tell you something, man, about a black man. And you know, a lot of y'all ladies, y'all may not agree with this. Let me tell you something about your dude. He think about other females. He wants to engage in sexual activities with other females. Let me tell you something about history. If you look at any African tribe, don't they have multiple wives?
Yes, sir.
Don't they
Shit,
have
you look at
multiple
any
wives?
tribe. You look at any tribe in the world. It's like that.
They have multiple wives, right? This
You
is what I
see, they
always
do
tell.
it.
This is what I
You
always tell these
understand?
females that be like, "Oh, he cheating on me. This nigga ain't shit." I'm like, "Well, why don't you just let that nigga go ahead and do his thing?
Yo,
I guarantee
G,
you'll be happier." But go ahead.
marriage ain't nothing but population control.
That's all it is. That's all I really believe it is. And then they tell you it's a bind between you, your other, and God. That's what they say it is. But like, look at European marriage. I mean, not European marriage. Look at marriage overseas and shit. Them niggas don't go get their broads rings and shit like that and propose to them and all this other extra shit. They don't do that shit, bro. We make marriage a spectacle here. You got to go spend all this money, flowers. They got all this fucking makeup on, all of this shit to get drunk and get fucked at the end of the night like a regular party.
And start fighting at the end of the night.
That's it. That's it. That's all that shit is. And people be mad, oh man, you don't believe in marriage? I'm like, listen, man, if you with a person, you with a person. If you got a life, it's some people out here that really do got life partners. It's females out here that like fuck, like my wife, for example. Me and her been together 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? That's my life partner. You understand me? And we don't have to get a piece of paper to know that like we intertwine with each other. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have to get a piece of paper or, you know what I mean, some type of certificate from downtown to say that we're one. Like, we know that we won. We move as one, but she still respect me as a man. And that's the problem with a lot of these females. It was a sister that was talking about this shit, about how back in the day, dudes didn't just they had wives, but they had kids all over the fucking place. And guess what? The wife fell in line, and she figured out, like, who is this chick that my man is loving on? I mean, that my man loves and all this other shit, and she wanted to know why, and then they became a family. Like, I'm not telling people to go do no wild shit, but I'm just talking about that monogamous shit has not worked for niggas especially. European monogamy. That's all I'm saying. Anything y'all want to say about that? Yo, can you niggas hear me?
I hear your ass, nigga.
Well, let's move on a little bit, man. Case, I think you'll find some type of delightness. A man skipped work for 15 years and still got paid.
I hear that.
And listen to this shit here, though. An Italian hospital worker skipped work for 15 years and received over $600,000 in pay. You understand what I'm saying? And they said this was in euros. It was 538,000 euros, which is equivalent to 648,000 in pay, despite having never turned up for work in 15 years. How the fuck does that happen?
Shit,
he got to be the luckiest. He got to be the luckiest. He done made.
So what happened? Why they stopped paying him? Were they still paying him?
I think they had to stop paying him because he ain't been to work in 15 years.
How did they find out they was paying him all this money? I mean, was there any consequences? What happened?
Oh no, they trying to press charges on him. He been accused of taking home more than 5. I mean, shit, it was their fault why they paid him. I'm with you. Why would you get?
I'm supposed to turn out this free money. Shit,
I'm supposed to call y'all and tell y'all, hey, stop sending me these checks.
I'm quite sure he was paying taxes, right?
Yeah, they was taking taxes. If they was sending money to it, they taking taxes out of it.
So the government gonna get that tax money back? Mm-hmm.
Man, listen.
Yeah,
man.
see?
I wonder what type of charge they gonna give him. If anything, they need to charge the stupid motherfucker that was paying him the whole time.
Right to the accounting department.
Man, they need to just let that man have that shit and hit the reset button because all this shit, everybody in debt around this motherfucker.
Yeah, man, pretty much, man. But I don't know but this man, he old as fuck now, though. I think they said he was like 50-something years old, 60-something years old. He don't give a fuck. That nigga been home. He been literally retired for 15 years, and he worked at a hospital.
That's the money they talking about. He'll make some other money. He like, shit, I'm getting this check. I'm over here doing this other bullshit, get some more money.
But what would you
say?
You say
you're Italian?
What if you say
you
though?
know you got some mob action going on, some Gambino shit.
But listen though, bro, think about this. What if you seen that shit happen to you? You quit working a job, and then every week for like a month, these motherfuckers still load the paycheck up into your account and shit. You'd be like, what would you say?
I ain't gonna say shit. Fuck, I'm supposed to say.
Exactly.
Free money like a motherfucker though.
Hey, check this out. But I will go talk to my lawyer though.
You say what? You will go talk to him?
Yeah, I still talk to my lawyer. You know.
And see what the fuck they could charge you with. But I doubt if they're gonna get, because like if anything, that's an internal problem. That's just like down in what was that, Louisiana, where they gave the dispatcher that accidentally put $1.2 million in her account. That sister went and withdrew all of that shit. Got the fuck up out of here.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Every dime.
That was my damn money. Fuck out of here.
Because I mean, like,
fuck out of here. What, how's your money? That's interest paid. How much that motherfucking bank made on my money last month? And he ain't pay me my right. I start going through all the books. Exactly. We ordering all the books. And this motherfucking bank, I'm going to prove that's my motherfucking money. I'm going to prove that shit.
Last I checked, 99% possession is ownership.
Ownership. And we going through the books.
Yeah, what is he doing in my bank? But I think what fucked her up is
we going through the books.
I think what fucked her up.
I'm gonna say, listen, I had $500 in this account for 10 years. These motherfuckers that took this $500 this month, made $50,000. The next month they made $150,000. This month and they only gave me 2 cents for that shit.
I think
10 years.
I think the statute of limitations should be if it was deposited after 2 p.m. on Monday morning or whatever the day, then it's yours.
But see, man, obviously, it was.
The statute is as soon as it put in my account is mine.
Exactly. Let's be honest about this. She didn't go to the fucking ATM and withdrew this money out. I think
she ain't supposed to. ATM ain't gonna hold that type of money.
I think what fucked.
She went got her cashier's check. Here, listen, the cashier's check 1.2. Ma'am, you sure? Bitch, you heard what I said.
But what was so funny about it? They say soon as when she seen the money in her account, she withdrew every time out.
Yes. How you supposed to do?
She must set up her like a privatized banking account.
Listen.
Escrow, a couple escrow accounts, and
no, they said she went and bought a house and got some type of truck, and she still got some of that money. 1.2. But go ahead.
That alert popped on her account. Deposit made. That bitch checks. Oh shit!
Man, she'd even wash her ass. She'd even wash her ass.
Ain't have to. Ain't no time for that. Ain't no time for that.
It's almost like without even knowing the case, because I don't know. I kind of heard some about this situation, but I don't really know the story on it. But it sounds like it's almost like she kind of was part of how it got deposited.
Oh, that's even better.
Because she was too on point. She was too on point with the. Yeah, let me get this. We can do this.
No, they wouldn't. It was really an accident that was made by an employee.
Ain't no damn accident.
They were supposed to be paying somebody else, and it went to her account.
Nah, they paid the right motherfucker. Ain't no supposed to. You know damn well that route number,
they said
that name, all that shit
doesn't matter. They said that sister quit her job at everything.
Damn right, I got things to do. Shit.
Some shit came out my timeline, very similar to this kind of sort of. Like the question was posed like this: if somebody borrowed $5,000 from you, and they still ain't paid your money back, and it's been like a year or two and went past, this motherfucker got settlements, money, and everything, still ain't paid your money back yet, and you call to borrow like $1,500, or it was some old number that dealt with a 5, right? And so the person who owes you the 5 said, "Man, I ain't got it, man, but I can give you this." So they supposed to send a motherfucker less than what they actually owed him, trying to help him out because they was like trying to settle out. If you just give me 3, then you got to worry about it or whatever. So the motherfucker who owed the money, instead of them just paying the whole 5, they accidentally sent more than what they told them they was gonna send them, and it ended up being the amount about 5,000. So the question is, once the person who owed you the 5 accidentally sends you 5 when you was trying to get some of your money, would you send the motherfucker some of the money back?
Hell no, you owe me this.
Wow, that's my money. You owe me this,
my
nigga.
Fucking money. What you mean?
Hey, over here bullshit playing my money, nigga. Hey, I knew your ass was playing the first time you said that shit. Right, nigga. Listen, my money, nigga.
Your debt is settled, nigga. Your debt is settled, nigga.
He said the motherfucker asked him. The motherfucker said, "Man, if you just give me $1,500, man, you know what I'm saying? You just give me a 1,000 or some shit. You know what? The motherfucker needed $500, man. You know what I'm saying? And then the motherfucker who owed him the 5,000 actually added too many zeros. That's how the story went. And he ended up sending him the whole goddamn 5 on accident, man. He called begging him to the motherfucker run that money back to him. He said, "Man, that's my money from my this." He said, "Oh man, fuck that. You owe me 5 anyway."
Yeah, you owe me 5 anyway. Yeah, nigga.
I ain't give you shit.
Yeah, you done fucked up, nigga.
I ain't give you shit, but see, that's a situation.
I gave my money back.
Maybe the sister felt like the motherfuckers owed her in some type of way. That was her money. Y'all ain't getting it back. Take me to court.
Nigga trying to be slick.
if you owe me $5 and I've called to borrow some money because I'm in the jam and you owe me $5 and I know you got it, I know I'm good for it, but you just choose not to give me my money. But then you're gonna feel sorry for me and send me $500, but then added too many zeros and sent the whole 5 on accident. Then hell no, you ain't getting nothing back.
Right.
That happened.
Yeah, shit happens. That's on you, big homie. You better take this L. You understand what I'm saying? Because what case you like to say that's the in my pocket fund.
Yeah, actually,
that's my pocket fund.
In my pocket fund. You understand what I'm saying? But let's talk about this next little story I wanted to touch on a little bit. It was a white Texas teacher that took a picture of her putting her foot on a black child's neck.
Yeah, we was talking about that earlier.
And put it on the fucking internet.
Get out of here.
Yes. Let me ask you this question, man, John, while you in here, because I know Kay's answer. You got the same answer for every fucking thing when it comes down to this. Why do you feel like these white folks is so comfortable to where they think they can do or pull some of the shit that they do now?
Okay, let me address the actual opening of the subject, which is about the white lady putting her foot on the black child, her student, because this is her student, right?
Yeah, it was her student, but this all ties. Everything that I asked ties into that, though. Why do you think she felt comfortable enough to do that?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you the best informed answer I have on hand. My wife walks in early about 3-4 hours ago, and we sitting here shooting the shit, and she said, "You heard about that teacher that put the story you just brought up?" I was like, yeah, I heard about it. And she said, well, this, women, they gossip. So she come back with motherfucking intel. She say, the teacher is good fucking friends, best friends with the black lady. And they was just doing some type of shit where the mother was involved with the shit too. And so somebody took a picture of it when they was doing it and then went and sent it to the internet and made it go viral. And she ended up getting in trouble. She ended up getting in trouble for it, but because somebody in the class took a picture of it. But in reality, she wasn't doing nothing derogatory with heinous type of intent. It was something that her and the mother and the child were doing as an example.
See, that's a better.
Yeah, man.
So they're doing a demonstration.
Yeah, pretty much. They was doing something with each other. So that kind of explains it. You know what I mean? And that goes to show you that we shouldn't think that people is acting with malice intent.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When they do
okay, but wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Well, let's ask this white woman. Did it feel good you having your foot on that nigga neck?
Actually, she's actually really fucking upset and fucked up behind the whole.
Yeah, because she probably lost her job behind that, bro.
Yeah, because it was nothing she was doing with any type of intent. Because it was something that they all agreed on doing, and it was a collective effort: the child, the mother, and the teacher.
And you know what's crazy? So whoever put that out there like that, bro, was the one who really They did that with the racial tension that's going on nowadays. That was the wrong type of move. And whoever did that intentionally meant to sabotage her career and do whatever they was doing.
Indeed. It was like they painted the narrative didn't have to get painted. It was like it was a default narrative to where you're gonna automatically look at it as fucked up when you see the picture.
Yeah, you know especially like I say today, the racial tension that's going on in this country right nowadays, and for some shit like that to pop up, I'm talking about it's like more prevalent to where people's minds automatically goes to that case.
Shit ain't nothing new, man. Fuck out of here. This shit ain't nothing new. Regular day at the office with these fucking doubles, yo. Regular fucking day at office.
That's just like when we was talking about the girl the other day. I had a lot of people that was upset with me because I told them this is what policing is supposed to be. Like, in that situation where that young 16-year-old girl got killed down in Columbus, Ohio, I feel like that was bad parenting, bro. Period, doc, because you done called the police, and then you still go outside with a knife. Cop come out. This is what I'm saying about certain cops, like that's on the right type of shit. He had a split second. Do I fuck this nigga up trying to stump this girl, or do I shoot this broad trying to gut this broad over here? Because that's what she was doing. I watched it. I watched it, and the way she had that knife, she was about to get ready to gut her like a fish.
Man.
And it was unfortunate, man. But see, those were the actions of that girl and her father, really. Because I feel like as a man, as a father in a situation, get your ass in the house.
Yeah. Who's that dude identified as?
That was her father. I keep telling you.
Has any charges been pressed against him for stomping on the other chick?
I don't know. I think he need, and this sound fucked up, he should be the one that get charged with that girl murder because you out there influencing this shit. You fighting with this girl.
You can't say that because, you know what I'm saying, she brandished a weapon. They both attacked them people when the police came out the car to see what's going on.
4 times to the chest was a little excessive. I do believe that. But like I said, he had a split second to make a decision. You understand me? Like he pretty much was looking at it like I'm saving a life in this situation. He had to take a life to save a life. That's the way he looking at it.
At the end of the day, honestly, at the end of the day, tomato.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you jump out that car. I don't give a fuck what your color is, and you like you say, you had a split second, and then motherfucker ain't no robot. Ain't like he an android or a motherfucker iRobot.
No,
this nigga, he got emotions and shit too. So he probably PTSD. Had a motherfucker relapse from another shootout he had. He saw this motherfucker finna shank this chick, and he just went into motherfucker.
Man.
He went into response mode.
Right, so, exactly. And people are outraged. I'm like, we got to be careful about what we be outraged about. It's just like, I made an example of like how a lot of people play with that victim word nowadays.
Yeah.
People play with it. They play with it too much, man. Like when
they're abusing it. They're abusing that shit.
Yeah, because it's real victims out here. That
of course there is.
It's real victims out here, but it's a lot of people that played the victim. You understand
what I'm saying?
Read that
bullshit ass Constitution. You'll see who the victims are. Fuck out of here.
and then outside of the Constitution, though, just self accountability.
Yes.
Motherfuckers be like, I can give a grace to somebody, in their early adulthood, all the way down to adolescent, all the way down to infant, on being, you in trial and error. But let truth be told, we in trial and error all the way to our 50s and 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yes, sir.
I'm seeing goofy shit that 70-year-old people are doing right now.
Yeah. Or it's just like I done ran into motherfuckers 50, 60 years old, man, still stuck in time, bro.
Yeah, goofy shit.
Stuck in time like a motherfucker. Or it's just like, man, I done said this before, man. I don't hang around a lot of people like I grew up with, because we had our like little issues, but at the end of the day, they was childish, and these niggas was still moving the same way that they was moving when we was kids. Now the ones that grew up a little bit, you know what I mean? They got a little head on their shoulders, like how can I say it? I interact with them in certain ways and shit like that. There's no knock against nobody. It's just that I done moved in a different direction in my life. So, I'm not on the same shit that they be on. Some people, you are absolutely right though, man. They don't. It's part of growing up. Like
it's all self accountability, man.
Yes. For your actions, what you done in the past, all of that shit, man. Because it all plays a part in the present. And I be telling people that shit. I'm like, bro, what you did in the past plays a part now. I know niggas to this day, I won't go nowhere with these niggas because I know all the robbing they was doing back in the day. I wouldn't be caught nowhere with these motherfucking niggas. And see, people need to make better decisions on, who they choose to have around them. And like you said, have accountability.
Yeah.
That's what we need to start doing. Have more accountability.
But it's going back to what you said. It's like we're addressing the whole victim, the overuse of the victim pool. It's like it's a pool of insurance set aside for victims.
Yep.
Right? But then you got a bunch of motherfuckers who really ain't victims, but they're frauding to be victims, and they fucking up the motherfucking ecosystem.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I completely agree on that.
That's what we're dealing with. I used to watch grown people do that back in Chicago when I was still a teenager. They'll play crazy to get a crazy check, as opposed to getting off their ass and creating an income and creating a job of their own.
Right, exactly. And you know what fucks me up? This is what I never understand. This is why I don't knock nobody that stay in the project, public housing. You got to do what you got to do to survive. But I don't understand how some people can be down there for 20 plus years and just be content with that. Because a lot of those people, they get a check to pay all their bills, and they may have $30 left over. You want to party? That shit gone. Like, what is $30? That, like, people are content with living like that. Some of these bras are content with having more kids so they can get more money from the fucking government.
Not nowadays. They're not giving them more. They're not giving more money to the motherfuckers no more. They're putting them through a lot of loopholes now.
Yeah, and that's what they should be doing. I always felt like this, and people disagree with me a lot on this. Like, far as when it comes for like government assistance, like you got to go to school, you got to do something to better yourself to get yourself off of that. That's how government assistance should be. If you want to ask me, we gonna do something to get you off of this shit. Because tax people pay for this shit. Let's be completely honest. Our tax money goes to these people for them to survive and live off of us. I hate to say it like that. You get what I'm saying? But
if I just want to add into that, it's our tax dollars that do it, and it's that borrowed cash from other countries that's richer than us.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, that's the absolute.
That's the slavery right there. We slaves.
That's the honest to God truth. And then they put a lot of those females in these projects. The father is not allowed in. He's not supposed to be there, rather. And we all know, like that's the problem with a lot of kids now, because they need their fathers and they need these men.
That is the problem. That's another part of the ingredient of the fucking problem too.
Yeah, they need their fathers, man. And a lot of those kids. And this is my thing.
Mothers. And they need their mothers too, because the mothers ain't mothers.
Truth. Oh my God. I just said this the other day, bro. Like these broads, that I don't think they get, like, I always say this. I'm like, y'all look at the wrong females as examples. You understand me? Y'all looking at Cardi B as an example. This bitch dumber than a box of rocks.
But there you go right there, bro. This is the part where you can use to leverage your point from earlier about how hip hop influences the community. This is the perfect opportunity right here.
Yeah, it is. No, let me make a point. These females that want to be strippers is at an all-time high. You got 15, 16-year-old girls talking about they want to be strippers, bro. Like, no bullshit. They not thinking about going to be doctors or lawyers or being like professionals. They thinking about stripping, how they could be the next Instagram model.
Oh, that is a professional.
I'm just saying, but that's what they're thinking about. But see, you know where that shit comes from, Case? That shit comes from these bitches listening to Cardi B. Oh, well, she stripped. She got her mouth fixed. She got a nigga. She got a ring. She don't clean. She don't cook. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And this what y'all inspired to be?
And the number one thing that she do with her natural God-given right, she don't even breastfeed.
Right, because she too worried about keeping that body, like, she too worried about keeping her body tight. She too worried about how the media is gonna perceive her. Go ahead, though, bro.
When you breastfeed, that's what helps keep your body tight.
Listen, that's the best. That's the best. That breast milk is the best milk that your child can have. It has,
but it helps the woman too. But it helps the woman too. When
Yeah.
when the child breastfeeds, when she allows herself to be breastfed with that child, it also helps her anatomy too.
Right, and I heard it gives, and I heard that breast milk give the kids all the vitamins, all the minerals
Everything.
that they need,
Yeah,
everything
everything.
more than what they
Everything on the
give
front
you.
end.
And this
Everything
another
on the front
thing
end.
you have to ask yourself: people don't know what they put in this fucking Similac shit, bro.
You know what's in that titty. You know what's in that titty.
That good shit, that natural shit that they supposed to have, bro.
Yep, that's that premium.
Know what's in that titty, boy.
Manicure.
Right, but see, this is the type of shit. This
To
is
a
the
half
type.
gallon of some titty.
These are the type of bras that these young bras inspired to be and look up to. Megan Thee Stallion. They talking about WAP and all this other shit. I posted a post. This was like months ago and shit, to where I put up a picture of a whole bunch of ratchet ass bitches, and I put up a picture. It was right next to a picture of a whole bunch of like successful black women. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, this is cool to be this way. You don't have to be this way to get attention. And I think that's the biggest problem now when I talk to K's like about social media and shit like this. Social media is like a attention whore for some people. It really is. People like get on there for the attention. Like they get some type of rush from the attention that they get on social media.
So it's safe to say it's a drug, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I already said that. That clout is the biggest drug that's out here right now. That clout chasing, the biggest drug ever. Everybody want to be famous. Everybody want to be, how can I say it, social media famous. Because you could be whatever the fuck you want to be on the fucking internet. But when you log off, who are you? You can't, everybody's not Cardi B when they log off. This bitch isn't always beautiful like she presents herself to be on Facebook or Instagram. 9 times out of 10, these are the bitches that got sheets on their windows and shit. If you want to be honest. What we say, K's dirty feet, good pussy having ass bitches. That's what that is, bro. And I always encourage you niggas, get a little bit, but don't stick around too long.
Man, exactly.
Get a little bit, but don't stick around too long, bro. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole, bro.
Keep it moving.
You don't want to go down that rabbit hole though. But see, like I say, man, like I feel like our females, like the younger ladies out here, I think they need better examples of women out here to look up to, or the ones that I may think is a good example that they should look up to, they may not think is cool. You get what I'm saying? It's me and Kay. Go ahead, bro.
So how do you get them to understand that it's cool?
You know what I say all the time, man. It takes a man to lead a woman. We need more men. I need more of you young brothers to be men for these women. Quit lying to them.
You know how you
quit trying to be, go ahead, bro.
Know what can help in that? Know what can help in that area?
What's that, bro?
Now, of course, it's just my small opinion.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna pass the mic back to you. You start with the diet, bro. Because if you ain't eating right, then you ain't gonna the motherfucking body ain't gonna operate right. Then you ain't gonna function right. You're gonna do a bunch of unright shit because you're mineral deficient. You know what I'm saying? So all that plays a role into how your performance is and how your fucking neuron system work. Your everything is all predicated in that diet. It's in that diet. You are what you eat. So I'll close with this point. The food itself has instructions in it to do a certain thing when they get inside the body. This is intelligence that you put inside your body to do a certain thing. So if the instructions are wrong out the gate, then you got a bunch of toilet shit going in your system. So
yeah, exactly. And I always,
sponge.
I ain't trying to cut you off either. And
No,
I was gonna say this one thing. I'm always been a firm believer of, like, if you treat your body right, your mind gonna be right. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Like it's this movie on Netflix, just to kind of tie it all together. I want to say the movie's called golly, what is that movie called? It got your boy in it. Oh fuck! But I'll just tell you how the movie worked. Okay, it's this gentleman. He was a paramedic, right? And it was this drug that just hit the market, and it was created by this guy from India in the movie. So the kids was taking this drug, and the police was trying to figure out what was killing these kids, how they was dying, because they be so stoned the fuck out when you pull up in the building to extract the bodies out the places where they find these kids either dead or so stoned where they don't know what the fuck going on. But it was a key ingredient in this pill that the dude had put in, this chemist dude. He was from India. He put this certain flower in the fucking pill that actually triggered your pineal gland, and it was something with the pineal gland that allowed you to time travel years back and forth, whatever spot you were sitting in when you took the pill. It'll activate your pineal gland where you could time travel back in time in that exact location in a different diaspora of life, where you might time travel back to dinosaurs or back into the racial 60s or the 30s. The movie interesting in the motherfucker.
Yes, that is. That sounds very interesting.
So he went in there, and so the Indian dude ended up coming to the paramedics dude's crib, because what the Indian dude, when he found out how the people was getting killed, because when they go back in time, they get trapped back in time, getting killed, whatever. So the point I'm trying to get to in total, the guy told him, the Indian guy told the paramedic brother, he said, listen, this fucking leaf is triggering your pineal gland, and depending on how calcified your pineal gland is, will determine what type of functionality or what type of experience you're gonna have once you take this drug.
Wow. And
it was one of those type of drugs. What they call them? Fun drugs. What's the word for it? Anyway, it's them cheap little drugs that people, party drugs is what they call them.
Okay.
And this shit hit the shelves like the same way that fake weed did a few years ago that was killing people.
That Tunchi shit, we was talking about that K2 shit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers was smoking that shit.
Yeah, and they pulled it because people was going crazy using that shit.
But and that was the drug. But see, you know what? I always say, bro, when you see crazy movies like that, don't the first thing come to your mind like, this shit gotta be real? Because who the fuck can think about some shit like this, bro?
Yeah. But it ties back into what we're saying though about this type of behavior in a certain class of people, and the people that's acting erratic and operating like that are the people who are in the matrix of using all those different type of things in their body, from food to drugs to whatever the fuck it is. Then you in that matrix, and now you're part of the algorithm of what the fuck whatever the plan is.
Right.
That's just the way I look at it. That's just the way I look at that shit. And it's science behind it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me trying to go around and preach it and with a bullhorn, I just try to practice for myself and me and mine is close to me that I love dearly. And then as it permeate, that'd be on the individual, man, because you could take a motherfucker all the way to the water, but it ain't guaranteed that motherfucker.
And then at that point you could speak from experience because you've actually done it. You understand me? It ain't like you just talking just to say it and shit. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You got to practice what you preach, man. You gotta practice what you preach.
These people sign up for this shit. So it's back to what Kay said. We ain't gotta. No, I ain't necessarily saying fuck our people, but in reality, my people are the people that think and move like how I move, because everything outside of that is a liability like a motherfucker.
Right.
And if I'm in war,
just say liability like a motherfucker. Case go ahead and say that shit one time. Liability like a motherfucker.
I can't be in war. I can't carry dead weight in war. I can't deal with some shit like all this shit shut down tomorrow. I can't be in the house with a motherfucker that eat 3 or 4 times a day, because they're gonna fuck up all my ration to survive. It's gonna stretch me out for 2 or 3 years.
You one of them niggas. You one of them calculated niggas. You got that shit down to a science, nigga. What's gonna go down? We got this much food. You got to eat this amount this day, nigga.
I grew up. But
I
I grew up in
understand that.
Inglewood. I grew up doing Reaganomics. So Reaganomics, thanks to Reagan and them and how they was running the fucking world and the country, it taught me this is the fucking environment that taught me how to survive day for day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And see, and that's another difference between those times. Like I feel like we survivors.
Yeah,
like,
we in them
y'all
times now.
generation and our generation, we survivors like a motherfucker. Because I don't think people understand some of the times that niggas that went through is like way worse than what we see nowadays and shit. But it's just more magnified because we got cell phones and camera phones and all of that shit like that. It's just more magnified. That's just like another situation I want to talk. See, I love that I got somebody I could just sit on here and we could like converse about some shit. Because Cage don't indulge in every conversation that he feel like he don't want to talk about. I ain't gonna get into it. Whatever's crazy ass over there.
Be some bullshit.
No, but listen, I wanted to talk about this because I had said this on Facebook the other day, and a lot of people was like upset at me for saying this shit, which I don't give a fuck what you say. It's my opinion and shit. I say, listen, man, if I see you on here half-ass naked, and then I look in your comments and you say don't hit my inbox unless it's about money, I'ma assume you a fucking prostitute. And I'm gonna block your ass.
Oh shit!
And motherfuckers is like upset about this shit. They like, why you be hating on the hoes and this, that, and the third. I'm like, I'm not hating on you hoes. I'm like, y'all gotta understand something. I come from a different time where hoes wanted to be discreet. Y'all hoes don't give a fuck now. It's like a free for all. It's like y'all don't have structure. Like, you know, I always say this. Some of you hoes need pimps. Like y'all really do, cause y'all just running rabbit out here. Y'all on social media advertising that ass. And you want a nigga to respect you like some type of queen or you some type of boss. Bitch, you the entertainment. Niggas not gonna never respect you in that light. And then you simp ass niggas. I want to say this shit to y'all too, man. I'm getting on some real shit right now because I got to get on these niggas' head. These simp ass motherfucking niggas quit gassing these project bitches up and putting that pussy on the pedestal the way that you do. Stop that shit. Stop quit making a hoe or a prostitute feel like she a queen. My nigga, you was a simp.
Hey, check this shit out though. Hey, did you just say stop gaslighting them?
Stop gassing these hoes up. Hell yeah.
Hey, check this out. When you look at the word queen, right?
Yes.
Now, I ain't known this all my life. I just probably found this out maybe 5-6 years ago. Mm-hmm. But queen goes back from some old ancient Latin shit that ties back into a word that actually defined as, by definition, in rough definition, it means whore. And and this was a word used amongst the people that spoke that language. Of course, that wasn't our language, but you know, a certain group of people. The other tribe, I'll call it that. So we don't need to be calling our sisters queens because that's not our ancient language. That shit don't have nothing to do with who we are.
I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm really glad that you said that.
So you talking about calling some hoes?
I don't think we should call them hoes either. But that's crazy. No. I gotta say, you know what, Kayes? You know what I done toned down? I don't say bitches much. I used to say bitch whenever I like talked about females and shit on some real shit because I be
could have fooled me.
But no, I just wanted to make a point of that, like, you know.
But I agree with your point, though. I agree with your point.
That's that Cardi B effect, though. It is. It's the Cardi B effect for you to make it. It's okay.
I think it's safe to blame Cardi, but Cardi just past participle of shit. This just started with Lil Kim and them, man.
Yeah, but see, Lil Kim was even a discreet hoe.
Yeah, but she'll tell you she's swallowing all this nut in the
discreetfully though. Yeah. Discreetfully though.
Take it where what
yeah, discreetfully though. Discreetfully though.
No, she said it straight out. She take it where what.
Exactly. She told you exactly.
Everybody had the Lil Kim poster. You had the Lil Kim poster, Kayes.
I still got mine.
Man, I love some Lil Kim.
Yeah, I love Lil Kim too, man. But it was something different. That was Queen B.
If anything, that was Queen Foxy B. was more discreet.
That was Queen B though.
Foxy was more discreet than Lil Kim.
It was kind of like, Foxy how can I say it? Kim was more like, you know, I always say it's 3 different levels. You got your prostitutes, you got your mid-level whores, and you have your escorts. Kim was like a high-priced escort whore that had bars. Like some queen, like some royalty type, like a royalty type of hoe or something. That's what it was just something about Kim. It was like Kim a royal hoe or something.
Kim was more madam status.
Okay, I could give you that. But see,
you know what I'm saying? Because she made sure she took trips and she had control of everything that was going on.
It was polished behind it.
Yeah, she was more madam status. You know what I'm saying?
It was polished behind it.
But if Lil Kim would have had access to the internet like these little motherfuckers do today, I guarantee you'll see Kim pussy all on the timeline like you seen these other motherfuckers.
Oh, it probably would have. Man, listen, think of niggas had social media back in the 90s, period.
It'd have been just as ignorant.
I don't think it would have been that ignorant though, because you want me to tell you why niggas it wasn't cell phones and all that shit. Niggas did not like talking on the phones at one point in time. These niggas talk away on the phone. I had to just explain this. One of my weed dudes, I call him like, yeah, what you want on the phone? I hang up the phone like, bro. And he asked me like, why you do that every time? I'm like, why the fuck you asking me what I want on the phone, nigga? You don't think about the police, the feds, nigga? Man, you tripping, man. They ain't looking for me. I'm like, that's your problem. You know what? They listening to you to find out where another motherfucker at because you so goddamn stupid talking on this phone. It don't make sense. Stupid motherfucker, man. They make the police job easy as fuck nowadays. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna be a prostitute, why you prostituting on Facebook? All the evidence is here that you prostituting.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that? And then
we had to walk. Hey, nigga, it wasn't no call on the spot. You had to walk to the spot. Shit.
You understand what I'm saying?
There was no call.
You understand what I'm saying?
Nigga.
You understand what I'm
saying?
You
be like, yo, such and such out here. Fuck that nigga. That's or you was beeping a nigga. You put a code in. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. Come knock on the door. Go ahead.
But I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't. It ain't looking too good for us, man.
Man, it's bad, man, because you know what? Women like that, though, and a lot of them be having kids, man. And I just be like, I had to make a point to somebody on this shit the other day. I'm like, listen, man, do you know that our kids is going to be so more advanced in technology than we is? They're going to go back on Facebook and see mommy being a hoe on Facebook.
It always been like that.
Butt on Facebook.
It always been like that. We was more technical advanced than our parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the whole aspect of this shit come back to bite you in your ass. The shit that you do on here, your kids is eventually gonna see this shit. And just like now, I know a couple people that's on this social media shit. Listen.
Be truthfully honest, that's what the kids go looking for, because a lot of times, just like I didn't care about what my parents did in their parties and stuff. I mean, unless you're a nosy ass child, other than that, we was out doing our own thing. I wasn't in my parents' business or trying to figure out what the hell they was doing. I was too busy running out doing my own thing. So I doubt you be on the internet looking for what they did if you wasn't already, you know what I'm saying? Maybe when you become an adult, you may find that shit. Then happens a different story if you went searching for them. But I don't think as a child, you're going to be looking up your parents and shit.
Nah, man. I mean, like every generation that had their wild little bunch, but I'm talking about like those women, like it was women that was hoes back then, but they took care of their fucking kids. You understand what I'm saying? And they didn't let their kids see every fucking thing. Let's just be completely honest about that situation. It's just like with my mother, you know, God bless the dead. I love my mother, whatever. My dad was in jail for 13 years. You don't think my mom was running around doing her damn thing?
Hell yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But she was discreet about it. We didn't know about that shit. You know what I mean? You know how it used to be. You know, listen. You know how you used to be. Like, oh shit, man, that's your uncle. That's your uncle, Mr. Jones.
You know, you was just blessed. You was blessed too, man, because you know, I knew a lot of niggas where I was from, and they mothers wasn't all that damn discreet, man. You know,
ain't give a fuck.
It's just something you just got. It's just a numbers game, you know.
Man, listen, man. I know
a lot of motherfuckers. They was raggedy. Their kids knew it.
Man, I know some. Some of my niggas' mama that busted open for some of they niggas.
Yeah,
it's
likewise.
Fucked up.
Like, you know, it's just nature, man. You know. I just want to say it like when you smoke some weed. Man, it's just nature, man. You know how it's done.
Yeah, but you know, I just feel like, you know, it's ways that you do shit. You get what I'm saying? And you know, the way that y'all carry yourself, and then y'all want niggas to look at y'all like y'all bosses and y'all this, that, and the third. Like, no, a nigga not gonna look at you like you some type of boss if you out here.
Huh? You speaking right?
No, they not, man. They not.
I'm saying you speaking right. I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, like, that's all I was just saying about that whole situation.
Yeah.
But we can kind of move on. I was listening to Joe Rogan, and I know you don't fuck with Joe Rogan or like that case, but this was an interesting conversation to hear two white males talk about systematic racism. I want to share this video, then we're going to touch on it. Everybody that's watching right now, make sure you go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified whenever we go live. You get what I'm saying? I'm about to switch over. I want to share this video with y'all. It did me, Kays, and Jahad. We're going to touch on it. I might have a little smoke break song or an ending song because we've been on here for almost 2 fucking hours. And we're going to get with it. But let's listen to this real quick. I want y'all to check this out real quick.
Play that motherfucking song.
1776. And we look at the Declaration of Independence and we look at America today in 2020. There clearly is some impact in the echoes of slavery and then after that Jim Crow. There's clearly some impact in these deeply impoverished communities that don't seem to advance.
Yes. So to make the argument about institutional racism, there's a couple ways you can read this. When people say systemic racism or institutional racism, I usually ask them to be a little more specific in what they mean, because there are a few ways you can read that. One is history has impact. Of course, that's true, right? That's true for everybody. It's true in your family history. Right? If you have a grandfather who went to prison on a particular charge, that leads to poverty for your parents, which led to more poverty for you. Right? People have histories. Those histories are embedded in their life experiences, and that's true for societies as well. All of that is for sure true. Then there's the question as to whether the institutions today are racist. And that's not quite the same thing, right? Because history has consequences is not the same thing as saying the rules today are racist. Because the rules today are not racist.
Okay, let me stop right there. We're just going to iterate on it. Is there systematic racism in the institutions that exist today? And he's trying to make an argument that it doesn't exist.
Yo, let me tell you the first funny thing.
Go ahead, bro.
You got Joe Rogan sitting there talking to a Jew. That little motherfucker got a little homicide on his head, don't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, do you hear it? This is how they think, bro. Let me finish.
I know how they think. I've read their constitution.
This is crazy, though, just to hear 2 white males discussing this, but go ahead.
Actually, the rules today are quite not racist.
So this part of the conversation is very well illustrated by what I call a monopoly analogy.
I want to hear what he got
where it's about what the rules are.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead, John.
What does the guy actually say? Because I'm not on the live feed to see what you just played, but so I'm asking.
He was pretty much trying to make a point of how he doesn't feel like institutional racism does not, systematic racism does not exist in institutions these days.
Now that's the Jew talking.
Yeah, this is him talking.
That's the Jew talking.
Ben Shapiro. You know who that is? What's good, Marvin Odom? What's happening, big dog?
You know what I'm saying? He go to Jew talking to a goddamn Klansman about systematic racism. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, but this is could you imagine? This is what trips me out about it, bro. You got 2 white males. We know one is a little fucking loony. Joe Rogan. It was a so-called Jew. Okay, we got both of these white males talking about systematic racism. It's so crazy to sit back and listen to their points of views. That's what I'm talking about, Case. You know how you say you listen to your enemy to get information and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You keep them close and shit. Now, when I hear shit like this, it just make me go back to the point of like, these motherfuckers really just don't get it, and they are a part of the problem. But let's finish.
No, all you have to do is read their constitution. It tells you everything.
Yeah, it do, man. You say that all the time. But this shit here, them having this discussion alone, I felt like was some ignorant shit. Why can't you have a person that act like a black person who has actually been through this shit to explain it to you what they go through? Because it's funny as fuck. Every time you explain to them what you actually go through on a day-to-day basis is operating as a black man in the world, they don't believe you.
You see,
they don't believe you. They don't believe you. It's unbelievable.
You gotta flip. You gotta flip the conversation.
Go ahead.
Be like, yo, white man, how you feel that how many people you know in your community that little boys have been touched by the peace in your little houses of worship. Oh, the whole conversation changed. Oh, wait a minute. Nah. Whole lot of lawsuits and statute limitations have been stretched where you can go after these motherfuckers for the next 100 years. Let's talk about it. They don't want to talk about that. So yeah, that's the same way you treat niggas. The same way we feel about you motherfuckers with that shit. Same shit. Oh, that doesn't exist. But us don't exist? Okay, so why is the Catholic priests and all you motherfucking nuns and all this bullshit and touching of the kids and shit going on? Niggas is suing Boys Club, all this shit. All you white organization, all you motherfuckers touching. And you got the president and his son over here laid up with kids and all this shit. And the Epstein motherfucker and the bitch, everybody laid up with kids and shit. And y'all just touching freak all this freaky shit.
No, but they don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about that shit. They don't want to hear about that shit, though, but they can sit back and discuss what's going on with us. And
discuss what's going on with that. Let's talk about you motherfuckers.
These motherfuckers is pretty much talking like They experienced this shit before. It's
now, let's
not
talk
like
about
they
you.
talking. They not talking like they from the outside looking in. Go ahead.
Let's talk about the little white boy with the hammock on. Let's talk about you and the way your brothers and sisters, father and the sister, everybody look alike. Grandmother, everybody look alike. Daddy laid up with daughter laid up with little brother laid up with auntie. All you motherfuckers fucking. Everybody look alike. Let's talk about that. I don't want to talk about that shit. Keep the money in the family. Keep the bloodline pure. Yeah, motherfuckers. Start no shit with me. I know how you disgusting motherfuckers live. Quit talking about niggas.
Okay, I like this
Fuck
article that I was just sent. The Pope asserts rights to colonize, convert, and enslave. I appreciate you sending this to me, Jihad. Pope Alexander issues a papal bull or decree, Qatar, in which he authorizes Spain and Portugal to colonize the Americas and its native people as subjects. The decree asserts the right of Spain and Portugal to colonize, convert, and enslave. It also justifies the enslavement of Africans. Out of our own soul largest and certain knowledge, and out of the fullness of apostolic power, by the authority of Almighty God conferred upon us and blessed Peter in the vicarship of Jesus Christ, which we hold on earth, do by tenor of these presents shall any said islands have been found by your envoys and captains give, grant, and assign to you and your hires and successors, kings of castles, and Leon forever together with all their dominions, cities, camps, places, and villages, and all rights, jurisdictions, and opportunities. All islands and mainlands found and to be found, discovered and to be discovered towards the west and south by drawing and establishing a line from Arctic Pole, namely the north, to the Arctic Pole, namely the south, no matter whether said mainlands and islands are found and to be found in the direction of India or towards any other quarter, the said line to be distant 100 leagues towards the west-south from the islands commonly known as the Azores and Cape Verde, with the proviso, however, that none of the islands and mainlands discovered beyond that said line towards the west and south, be in the actual possession of any Christian king or prince up to the birthday of our Lord Jesus Christ just passed, from which the present year 1493 begins. Wow. And we make a point and depute you and said hires and successors lords of them which with the full and free power, authority, and jurisdiction over every kind. And that was from the Pope.
Hold on. What year was America so-called discovered?
What was that, 1876?
Damn, nigga, 18? Are you serious?
No, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
14, was it 1492?
1492, nigga. I don't know.
And this one right here, the next year, 1493?
Yep, yeah, it's 1493.
Which mean they knew it was great. A lot of motherfuckers here.
Yeah, they had to know for them to come up with some shit like that. More of a note on what's happening, big dog. I see you out there. But yeah, for them to come up with some shit like that, they had to know.
He basically made that law. He basically gave law for them to go and just rape and scrape and rape and rule and conquer and take over people's shit and get people out of their shit.
And see, and that's what they called. You remember when they called them explorers? That was nicknamed mercenaries.
They call them expeditions.
But they was mercenaries though.
Pretty much.
They was sent out. This is what I was trying to tell Kays before, because like in Europe, they was running out of like livestock. The winters was longer. It was like the dark ages for them and shit. So for their survival, they sent people out to go to different lands to seek out and conquer. And I always said this, they use Christianity to do it in a lot of places.
Period.
They use Christianity to conquer. They use it to divide people first.
Oh, this Catholic bullshit.
Yeah, they use it to divide people, and then wars started over this shit. And it was to the point to where they would go to certain sides where like, look, if you convert your people over to Christianity from this, we'll give you our soldiers and we'll give you a stimulus.
We'll give you a stimulus check.
Pretty much. Just believe in what we believe in. That's all you got to do. That was their way of conquering and enslaving
you ain't
people.
Believe it. You ain't gotta believe it. Just fall in line. We're gonna beat your ass.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I said, man, that religion is the worst thing that was ever created by man. The worst. People really kill each other over religion. That's crazy because I believe in one thing, you believe in another thing. You got to kill me because it's not what you believe in. It's the same thing with this transgender bullshit and this LGBT community. If you don't believe what they believe in, if you don't believe in the lies, yeah, if you don't believe in the lies, if I know that this woman is a man, I'm supposed to acknowledge her as a woman. No, I'm not doing that.
All right, let me tell you something on real shit. When it comes to that whole I don't even know what to call it, but I'll just put it like this. One of the ways you can kind of address it, motherfuckers talking about, well, I'm not a he, I'm a her. I'll say, okay, cool. I ain't got no qualms with that. Just stay over there on that side of the grass, and I'm over here on this side of the grass.
Right.
So what if I just go and say, I'm not black, I'm white. I'm white. Man, they'll change all them rules when you start telling motherfuckers I'm white.
Right.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because they look at you like you click. This is my biggest thing.
I'm a cracker.
This is my biggest
thing. I like
thing.
that. I'm a cracker.
I'm really perfect.
How dare you, officer? You don't see I'm a cracker?
I'm scared of them motherfuckers. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Because this the biggest thing. My biggest problem with media and all of this shit now. We'll see some shit and know what it is, but they'll tell us that it's a lie or we ain't seen it.
Well, let's all go on the news now. It's all this say we crackers. No, we ain't black. We ain't niggas. We crackers.
Right. And you look at me like I'm crazy. This what
I gotta tell my man to make a new T-shirt line. Yo, Jahar, I told my peoples a T-shirt slogan. They print them up now. Yeah. It's called "My Black Ass Matters." I want to see white folks walk down the street wearing them T-shirts. My black ass matters. Now I got a new T-shirt we gonna put out. What you just said? Yeah, I'm a cracker.
Hey, make sure you send it to me for the promo, nigga. We could use that for the promo, nigga. You're absolutely right, though, bro. People will shun their own family over religion, and that's the most disgusting thing that I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, but when you look at history, start with that article I just sent you, it was all predicated from that fucking platform.
Damn.
And it is.
Religion is the original gangster. And
amen.
And the original LGBTs and all the other alphabets are the original gangsters too, because what's that dude's name? What's the name, man? The first Bible, Saint John.
Mm-hmm.
That king, what's his name? Saint John. What was his name on the Bible? The guy that wrote the name of the book.
James. Oh, King James.
James. Okay, help me out, because I'm so detached from that whole shit where I forget about the name. but your boy King James was a known homosexual.
That's what Kay says all the time.
Yeah, this is a fact, Jack. It's all documented. We ain't make it up. You just can't make this stuff up. So all them guys, so we tripping on the LGBT movement, man. These people been running the planet. The homosexual community or gay community has been running the planet.
Yeah, that's just in Rome. In Rome, there was a lot of homosexual activity going on back in the day. Where motherfuckers like them boys.
Yeah, man.
You understand what I'm saying? Niggas like them boys and shit. But that's another thing. And that's what I always say. That's what I always say. I didn't have people get mad at me for saying this shit too. And I've been called racist for saying this. I say, bro, we're in any African American or black community. Do you see niggas practicing homosexuality or like that?
There's a couple of reverends that got caught speeding.
It is. But see, that's
over time.
That's been over time, though, bro. Did you hear about African warriors back then? Nigga, that would be. You ever watched it was a tribe called Zulu?
If anything, there've been more miscarriages than anything else.
No, that's what I'm saying. Did you hear about them niggas in African tribes indulging in each other? No, they was fucking all the women around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they was doing. They wasn't fucking with the men and shit. I only heard about that in European history, bro.
That's that Roman and Greek bullshit.
Let me ask you this, bro. In African history, even with the artifacts, where do you see naked black men standing around?
You don't.
You don't at all. They always clothed up. They got jewelry on. They got different little things on. You get what I'm saying? The silks and robes and different little shit that they found in the land.
Niggas like they robes and chains and silks.
Exactly. But my point is, you don't see.
Trying to be clean.
You don't see statues of niggas with 10-foot dicks out and shit. You get what I'm saying?
Oh hell no.
You don't see that shit. You don't even barely. Let me tell you something.
So let me throw a spin in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a conversation. We can touch on all the different angles of this shit. Like, so how do we address a hermaphrodite or a hermaphrodite?
People that was born with both.
Yeah.
I think at birth they need to make the determination.
Well, how about this? In our ancient ancestry, like one of the ancient Egyptian kings, Akhenaten, he was a hermaphrodite.
And see, you know what? That's kind of a like that whole little subject that you want me to tell you why, because like which was you born with a Y chromosome with more of those, or was you born with man or women chromosome? Which one was you born with more?
See, I can't address it because I ain't never been one. But these motherfucking people exist and they're frowned upon because they different.
True.
So I can't really. I'm not the representative, but when you talk about genes, like even with a person who has it in their genes, and genes jump over generations and pop up in maybe 10 generations down in the genome pool. Mm-hmm. So like even with twins, a person you may not have a twin nowhere immediately in your tree that you can see from right now, but the shit could pop up, and that's how genes work. So even with the people who are not hermaphrodite or hermaphrodite, they still have those genes in them. Now, right now, you got motherfuckers out here just for the clout acting like they homosexual or lesbian because it's a trend now. Mm. You got a trend.
You got a point with that.
Motherfuckers thinking it's cool to be that, and then they're gonna evolve out of it once they cycle out of that shit, and they're gonna go back to what their natural gene pool is.
But once they can't sit down no more.
Or you want me to tell you something? Or what? You know what the biggest problem gonna come up with them is they're not gonna be able to reproduce.
Yeah, that's what the whole stigma is doing. It's creating an environment of non-natural organic reproduction. It's all
then always got the runs.
Homogenized. Everything's homogenized. Everything is homogenetically modular. What's the word I'm looking for? They change it. They modifying it. They modifying it. It's homogene modified is what they're doing on every fucking level. Food, everything, man.
They mutating shit pretty much.
All this shit's being sped up, going digital. All this shit, man.
Yeah, it's mutation pretty much, bro. But see, like in my biggest
intervention though, is what it is.
My biggest, you know what, like with the hermaphrodite and the hermaphrodite situation, you know what? Those are people that was actually born like that. What about the motherfuckers that make the conscious decision to change over and then want you to like acknowledge them as that sex? Like that's the weirdest thing on God's green earth to me. Right, I know you was born as Jonathan, nigga, you still Jonathan, no matter if you got your dick cut off or not.
That's some motherfucker that want attention.
No, but see, this is the thing. And you know what? This is the thing. The major problem that I have with like this cancel culture shit that they got going on. Like it's like you gotta agree with all of the bullshit. And if you don't agree with it, and you speak it, listen, cancel me. Yeah. And if you don't agree with it,
don't call my motherfucking phone. Don't ask me for shit. I don't want to vote for none of you motherfuckers. That shit. I prefer to be canceled. Shit.
I got a movement.
Make life easy for me.
I got a movement too. It's similar to My Black Ass Matters, and this movement is like, it's simply put like this. It's called, I'm a motherfucking heterosexual, and I got an opinion too. I have something I stand for too. Mm-hmm. So it's like, can it just be my opinion, my perspective, without it being me going against the
exactly,
the other,
exactly, I mean? Bro.
I'm wired like this, so this is how I feel. Like I'm purple, and I'm heterosexual. I'm purple, and I'm green, and I'm heterosexual.
You know how I stand. I just don't. But see,
that's my thing, bro. In today's society, as a heterosexual male, you cannot have your opinion. Or if you do state your opinion, like this is my thing with people. I always say this: I don't have to agree with you to respect you as a person.
Listen, you gotta understand.
You understand me?
Listen. This is corporate America, right?
Right.
I can't have my opinion. You can't have my money. Now.
But I mean, that's the way it's played. Like that shit. That's the way it's played, bro. And you know what? And you remember when we talked about this before, bro? And let me ask you this, Jai. Do you see this? Why is it that the black woman come to the defense of that shit every time, bro? Every time.
Because she could make some money out of it. That's why. It's funding for that shit. It's always about the money. This is America. It's about one thing and one thing only. It's about the money. You know what the cancel culture do? Oh, we're going to cancel you, so we're not going to buy this. We're going to buy that. See? They're stopping their money. All right, when you tell them, just like my man at Chick-fil-A said, when he was like, I don't fuck with them faggots. Oh, we're going to protest.
Watch the F-bomb.
I mean, fuck that bomb. Fuck them fucking fruits. I don't give a fuck about them fruit
a little better.
Motherfuckers.
Fruit a little better.
Faggots, fruits, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Fuck them. I don't fuck about them. Cancel me. Just like that motherfucker from the owner of Chick-fil-A, when they talk about we're gonna ban that football bowl, he said, I don't give a fuck. I still close on Sundays, my line stay packed, and I don't give a fuck if none of you ratchet ass homo motherfuckers come eat my shit. It ain't meant for you motherfuckers to eat anyway. Guess what? His name is still in the bowl game. They don't say nothing else about it. And they still pack his establishment. He told him, I don't give a fuck. You see, you gotta understand, motherfuckers is punks. Motherfuckers is pussies. Oh, he said that. Oh. You got motherfuckers say, you know what? Tell me kiss my ass for saying that shit. And that shit get cleared up quick. You know what I'm saying? Once you say, you know what? I ain't spending my money. Fuck you, motherfucker. You doing lights for motherfucking homos and all this life. Fuck you, faggots. Everybody get on the stereo.
The F-bomb.
So fuck the faggots. Which one?
Say fruit. Go
fuck
ahead.
Faggots and fruit. I don't give a fuck, man. See, that's what I'm saying. You still scared of the motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck.
Not scared of shit. I'm not scared of shit.
I don't give a fuck. Cut all this shit off. Ain't no thing. Cut all this shit. Cut all this shit off. I don't give a fuck.
Crazy ass.
This shit is a goddamn luxury. This ain't no goddamn necessity. Let's get this shit straight right from the point.
Go ahead.
This shit don't control the way I breathe, eat, shit, sleep, none of that shit. You motherfuckers are like the fuck I say? Cut this shit the fuck off. You motherfuckers run this platform don't like it? Cut me the fuck off. I don't give a fuck. Cause the bottom line is, you advertise to me, and I don't buy none of that shit. So I don't give a fuck. So you wasting your time, money, and energy trying to deter anything on this cipher.
My nigga is so funny sometimes.
I don't give a fuck all that.
I can't even properly cut
check
this out. But go
Kiss
ahead, bro.
my ass. That's it.
You know what you need to do though? When next time on future rants like that, when we start PTSDing, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna mute his ass at certain points.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, when niggas start PTSDing like that, the way he just did, just get you motherfucking siren and go.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
You know what? I had came up with this idea. I was gonna call it the K's. I was gonna call it the K's pissed off meter. And the motherfucker was gonna bounce the battery, get his shit, because he do this every episode. He have a little time where he rant for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I let him go and shit. But
that's some bullshit.
I just got struck one time though recently. He know about this, and that's why I be telling him like, watch that.
You got struck because you played some shit, man. It had nothing to be called about the goddamn little twinkle toe motherfuckers.
There you
and shit. That had nothing to do with them motherfuckers.
I was gonna say, nigga, the tiptoe motherfuckers and shit. That's what I was gonna say.
I'm saying? These motherfuckers, these crackers would get on TV and call you every kind of nigga in the book.
Subliminally, too.
They don't say subliminally. They say straight in your face, look at these niggas. All them damn movies I watch, they cuss a nigga out and shit. You don't never hear them crackers allow a nigga to cuss them the fuck out like that. Only once in a while in the black movie, there only be one. And there'd be a little part where, because they surrounded. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they don't go for that shit too much. Only our culture, but they always trying to monetize us. I bet you ain't no motherfucking white devil ass little child molesters get up there and start talking about faggots. Ain't no goddamn problem. Fuck out of here. Don't hear that shit.
You know the way I feel about that shit though. I done already had a conversation about how is it that we can get on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, see images of motherfuckers hanging from trees, niggas getting burned, white people taking pictures, laughing and shit. It's always like they can tell their history, but we can never get a real raw history.
Well, guess what? Since they can show that, can hear a little faggot in their ear. Fuck them. Fuck out of here.
Because I mean, it's outrageous, bro. The way like the censorship is, especially when they come down to our people, though. But go ahead, bro.
Guess what, white folks? That motherfucker you go in there getting that little vanilla wafer from, he may have little stains on his fucking fingertips. Motherfucking pedophiles and shit. You taking your little communion. Fuck out of here. Hear that shit. The fucking blood of Jesus and the little aftertaste of a little boy and shit.
I mean,
fuck out of here.
The nigga is officially certified traumatized.
Hey, but you know what though? Let me tell you something though, man. It ain't his fault.
That's some dirty shit.
It ain't his fault that he been traumatized though. It ain't his fault. He didn't ask to be traumatized the way is. You know what?
He didn't ask, man.
He didn't. He didn't. I had somebody go tell me like, y'all niggas sound like two angry black men in America. I'm like, well, motherfucker, y'all need to start listening to
get in line.
Right, exactly.
Listen to these niggas. You better start listening to Asian niggas, because the niggas ready to kill your ass. They ain't gonna say nothing.
Right. But see, that's my thing though. We just expressing our point of views. This is the type of shit that niggas talk about behind the scenes and shit. But
the niggas that's gonna lay with your daughters ain't gonna say nothing.
Well,
I'm gonna be laughing.
I actually got my degree at Harvard, and I studied. I studied what massive trauma is. I studied bipolarism, schizophrenia.
Hey, you know what's funny about that, bro? Why do they feel like their credentials supposed to make them like a likable person or something? Are you supposed to like suck their dick or something because they got these credentials? Like, oh, I went here, I did this, I have a degree.
I think the reason why is because my bank is longer than yours, and I just think that's the real reason why.
Fuck out of here. Sometimes they don't even be the truth necessarily. But the
reason why is your great-great-grandfather got caught in the motherfucking barn with my great-great-grandmother, you motherfucker. That's the reason why, you piece of shit.
Right. That's just like when I used to work them jobs and shit, man, and I go in the office and they call me in there to talk to me, the white bosses and shit. And I remember one time they was talking to us about like performance and keeping the quota up, and they kept raising the quota and shit. And I looked at this fat motherfucker in office and I'm just like, you know what, bro? I'll tell you something. You want me to hit those type of numbers? You take your fat ass out there and go hit them numbers like that for a week, and then I
tell him like that. Did you tell him like that?
I didn't tell him fat ass, but I'm like, you take your ass on out there. I didn't say take. No, I told him take your ass on out there, and you go put up these numbers. Listen, everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. I'm like, you take your ass out there and you go put up those type of numbers every week, and then I do it for you. He's like, well, unfortunately, like I want to do this, so like. I'm qualified for the position that I'm have. That's not my work. Well, I'm like, how the fuck do you determine how quick a motherfucker's supposed to do this shit and how much he's supposed to do? Tell me that. He was like, it's all. What do you say? It's an architectural structure. Like we count how many paces it take for you to go from one machine to the next. I'm like, niggas is not robots. Mm-hmm. It's human error. Niggas stop to tie their shoe. Might see a fat ass walk past. They gonna look at that shit.
Ask them?
Huh?
You should have asked him how many sheets of toilet paper it take to wipe his fat ass.
Yeah, man, listen, man. I looked at that motherfucker. Everybody bust out laughing and shit because it was true, man. Like how you gonna? This is my thing with that. If I was a person that was in a position of power, obviously I done everything that niggas did underneath me to get to that position, right? So I know how to do it. I can speak from experience. These motherfuckers can't speak from experience. And that's why from that day point forward, bro, I looked at that shit like, man, this shit is slavery to the core.
Hey, when you go back and read that white city history on the white city in Chicago.
Oh, I actually still had that pulled up.
Yeah, now check out the heading on it. If you go into I think in the paragraph, maybe, or even in the heading,
World's Columbian Exposition.
And it talks about how they ignored the majority of the population. And it said it went into detail by stating that they did not give white women the privilege or African Americans the privilege to operate and to enjoy the luxuries the luxuries of the life in New America.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, that is what we're seeing is just a predicated type of motherfucking behavior that was wrote into the law, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is how these motherfuckers operated. They was under a status called white, which is a status. It's not really a color, it's a status.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was part of the order of the wigs. That's why they all wore those wigs. And they had those type of leotard pants. That was a custom. That was a fraternity.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? These people was a part of some shit that was, it ain't no
It's
secret.
a cult for real.
I believe one of the first political parties was called the Whig Party, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because it was called the Order of the Wigs.
Mm. And in this Order of Wigs, what did the Order of Wigs do? What was
it was them carrying out the concept that you just read that Pope that decree that Pope gave.
Oh, pretty much to claim to claim the land, to claim all the property on the land, claim the people.
Yeah.
Pretty much like these. Go ahead.
Good. I was just gonna say it's like, when you go back to one that you were just reading, how these people made a decision to police the planet. That's period. That's it.
Right. And to trick the other people into believing that they are the minorities.
Yeah.
It's all trickery. It's all trickery, bro.
Yeah.
It's all
good
trickery.
at the game of technology.
Yeah. That's just like, man, I was talking about, I wouldn't talk about it. I watched this, it was something the other day, and they was talking about missing artifacts. They said it's some over in Europe, some fucking where, to where they got a whole fucking like vault of stolen like secret artifact.
Yeah.
Shit. All you gotta do is go to the museum. Any museum you see stolen shit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like real, like some of that shit, they said a lot of the artifacts, listen to me, they say a lot of the artifact is fakes. That we see nowadays, they're fakes.
Listen, I don't give a fuck if they fake or not. All that shit was stolen. Is right there on display in them goddamn museums, yo.
Yeah, man.
Call that shit
but
fake
it's a part about that little whole decree that we just read and shit. They was told to go around, conquer, and take everything, and that's what they've been doing for centuries.
Yeah, and they good at it, man. You know, round of applause. You know
they didn't got so listen. The Chinese is starting to get good at it too. You better pay attention to the motherfuckers.
Oh, what they
Chinese.
do. The Asians, I don't want to say Chinese. I guess I could, but I don't.
Well, we could say Asians.
Yeah, I don't say Asian because it's so many different facets of the Asian community.
Yeah.
But what I do know about them people is they good at duplicating every fucking thing.
Yes. Yes, and they cut costs for them. Instead of creating something, they just go steal it. The technology, that's how they always like maximum profits. You ain't never known that case. That's why I said the motherfuckers are some of the greatest. They some of the greatest bootleggers on the planet, nigga.
Now, I don't know if they stole it, but they good at duplicating it.
No, I've actually read this even with.
The white man went to them and stole their shit.
They actually had a report on this shit, even down to the intelligence community there. They have stolen everything. They have not created nothing, bro.
That's not
they
true.
They take the technology and they manipulate it to their own shit. I'm talking about when it comes down to intelligence and all of that other shit. Yes, this is a fact.
So what you saying?
Yeah, but who started?
They good at they masters at re-engineering what was already.
Yeah, and putting their own little twist off on it. They're not done by
it. But guess who started? The white man started it with them motherfuckers. When they went over there and stole silk rolls, stole all their technology, stole the black powder, which was gunpowder. They stole the whole culture from them people. So what, the motherfuckers getting paid back on them crackers for stealing from them? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think that shit is unrest in Hong Kong? And them goddamn Europeans went over there and stole motherfucking Hong Kong from them. They just now getting back that 99. They had a 99-year lease on fucking Hong Kong. The motherfuckers in the goddamn in Great Britain and shit. And that's why so much unrest in fucking Hong Kong right now. Fuck out of here.
That's the
You're gonna tell you about what the Chinese are doing now with these crackers done pulled on them motherfuckers for the past hundreds of years. Fuck out of here.
Well, let's be honest,
fuck
man.
out of here.
Chinese,
I am being honest. They getting revenge.
I'm saying let's be honest. The Chinese is melanated people too. If you want to be honest, they're smart.
Well, I ain't got no qualms with them. You know, I love.
I ain't got no problem with China, man.
You know, my thing is just the question that you raised was just I'm just kind of expounding on how they just good at duplicating every motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling K's. They duplicate a lot of shit, bro, and they put their own little spin to it. They not dumb. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, far as like being the creators and originators. Let
me ask you a question. How you know they didn't create the shit first? And these motherfuckers out here ain't steal it and put it up to mass production.
We never know that, bro. We won't
don't start believing reports these crackers issue out. You know, because a lot of these motherfuckers out here is guinea pigs right now, taking that motherfucking shot.
And they giving them away like candy now, man. My dad gonna call me today like, yeah, son, I don't know. Like, y'all should go down there and take them shots out. They trying to get people in.
Take mine for you. Yeah, man.
I'm okay, man. I'm like, I understand y'all a little older and y'all want to do that, but I just don't trust this shit.
I'll tell you one thing. That's one check I wouldn't bother to take from them motherfuckers. It would give you that. Because I said y'all couldn't even write that check. You couldn't even word that check that y'all have to write for me to put that shit in my motherfucking
personally, this is my whole thing with it, and I keep telling people this shit. I'm like, man, listen, man, it take longer than 7 months to come up with a vaccine for something like this.
Not 7 months, you mean 7 years.
Yeah, I'm talking about it takes more. They came up with it in 7 months. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's too fucking soon, bro. Y'all don't know the side effects. Y'all don't know the later. You know what I mean? Long-term causes of this shit. Y'all don't know anything about this shit, and y'all rushing out to take this shit because they telling you to take this shit so you can have herd immunity around people. When initially they are injecting you with this shit. It's just like the flu shot. They inject your ass with the flu so your body can get immune to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't never take no damn flu shot.
Man, I'm not taking none of that shit, bro. I don't trust it. I will not take it. I'm good. Have y'all ever heard of the Tuskegee experiment, what they did to
I was
niggas?
about to say the same thing.
Y'all don't remember that. People don't remember that type of shit.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of the high fructose corn syrup experiment?
No, never heard of that. You can explain
that shit is in that shit is in almost anything you eat. That's why I will look at the jars. That shit got it on the label. I don't eat it or buy it. And it's in a lot of food.
Yeah, fear mongering the people. Absolutely right.
I'm not a licensed doctor or a nutritionist to give you really any type of real advice, but just research high fructose corn syrup and tell me what your opinion of that shit is. You know, when you look at the real breakdown of that shit and what it does to you, man. Artificial ass sweetener, and it's in every fucking thing, man. They put it in every fucking thing.
Yeah,
almost everything.
That's just like I was talking about water. You know, they put fluoride in water, and fluoride is poisonous to us, to people, to human beings. But they put just enough. They just put just enough in there to where it won't kill you.
And it's an active ingredient in toothpaste. No, and it's an active ingredient in rat poison.
But yeah, they put that in the water though. That's why I say, man, all of this shit, bro. These people run around fucking up the land, bro, and it's just polluting the air, fucking up the water. We talk about that shit a lot because that's what they've been doing, man. It's just, I don't know, like, even with K's don't believe there's an ozone layer. Didn't mean you talk about this shit?
I never said that.
Who's that I was talking about this ozone layer shit and how they polluting the air and shit with all these gases and shit that's not supposed to be burning in the air and it's fucking up our quality of air. People actually do not believe in that shit.
Oh yeah, they definitely fucking up the air. They ain't nothing to do.
But people don't believe.
Anytime we start our car, we fuck up the air. Anytime we turn the heat on, we're fucking up the air.
And they don't understand.
Anytime we turn the air conditioner on, we're fucking up the air.
Yeah, they don't understand the ozone layer like protects our air. If it gets fucked up or if it's like no more or ceases to exist, we all die. But yet and still, they still did. Like, I think about this. Niggas never went around, like, how can I say, extorting and raping the land. They haven't. They did, like, niggas used to, like, get just enough to survive.
Yeah, we was Wakanda with that shit.
Yeah, exactly, because we knew everything had to reproduce. We know we can't go out and kill all the fucking bison for their pelts and all of that other shit, even though we do kill some, because we know they need to go mate with other bison to keep this shit going on if we want to keep this shit around.
Don't tell that white man that.
He want to destroy it. He want to destroy it. Chemtrails exist. Yes, they do exist. Who was that was telling me something about Bill Gates was trying to create something? Or no, it was go ahead. What was he trying to create, K's? I think that was you that was telling me about that.
Trying to create something to destroy the goddamn. They trying to block the motherfucking sunlight or some shit.
Exactly. You want to know why? Because we get power from the sun, bro. You don't believe we get power from the sun?
Well, they're cave dwellers, man. What you think a cave dweller want to do? If he dwells in the cave, of course he don't want no damn sunlight.
No, they want it to be cold all the goddamn time, where we don't really like do too well. And like black folks don't do good in the cold.
Let me tell you the biggest lie the white man have told niggas. They still can't believe it.
What is that?
They claim we came from apes, but why there's still apes around?
True. That's true.
Stupid shit, man.
Like I don't know where they. I don't know where. Like,
it make no goddamn sense. Showed it to be stupid shit.
That is
common
funny.
fucking sense.
And then they showed it. You know how they showed it. They used to.
Oh, you came from apes, all right? But why there's still apes around there? Well, I don't see no ape becoming a human being right before our eyes if we evolve from them. This shit is just sit back and listen to some of these fantasies you motherfuckers take. Oh, we got proof this and that. Really? I got proof that ain't true. What? Could they go to the zoo?
So let me ask you this: do you believe in dinosaurs? Do any of y'all believe, Jai? You believe in dinosaurs?
Well, you know, shit. Only time you believe in shit is when you can't see, hear, or touch it. But it's all type of carbon datings on bones and shit that proves that these motherfuckers existed.
Okay.
But guess what? They still ain't never found Jesus bones.
That's gonna hurt a lot of you Christian folks out there.
No, I'm not throwing no darts at nobody. I'm just telling you that.
No, because they believe he rose.
Yeah, well, he did according to the story, but bones itself, they ain't found that yet. You know what I'm saying? But they found all type of ancient Egyptian bones that we descended from. Everything that we can argue about that they try to marginalize and hush up, all that shit is in the ground instead of erupting from the ground. Every time a inquisitive ass European or Caucasian man goes with his budget and go out to this shit and just get popping about the ground, and then you can't argue.
So with his budget.
Yeah, because you got a budget. You know,
talk about the money, right?
Yeah.
Go back to the money.
You got the financing to go dig our shit up. You know what I'm saying? So
disturbing our graves.
Yeah, you're dealing with species, man. They ain't been around the planet that long, so they're curious. So you got to kind of respect where they at on the scale when it comes to evolution and shit like that, and the way things work on the planet. And this ain't my opinion. This is all documented shit that I went and researched. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
But K's make an interesting point of how they didn't spun this whole narrative that we evolved from apes.
Right.
But yet and still, it's still apes around. They don't speak. Exactly. They don't speak like us. Don't carry themselves like us. Don't live like us, or none of this shit. So I think it's all bullshit. You know what I think it is, man? I think it's because they know they came from them caves. They came from them caves. They were uncivilized. They were the ones that were like beastly and monstrous and all of that other shit, which they still is today. Like they're very, not all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them, but a lot of them, man. Like they ignorant, they nasty, they violent, and they're destructive.
Sound like niggas.
Huh?
Sound like niggas.
Yeah. But niggas, let me tell you something about niggas. Niggas have a reason why they destroy some shit. Let me tell you something. A white motherfucker.
Niggas ain't got no reason, man.
Listen.
Niggas ain't got no reason.
Listen, a white motherfucker. Listen, ain't no nigga going to go kill his whole family because he lost his job.
You a damn lie because that nigga in Indiana a couple weeks ago killed everybody else. He getting on that damn stimulus check.
That was a stimulus check, nigga. That's like an anomaly, though, that you see shit man, like that, nigga. Go ahead.
No, but this is a never ending story, man. So, what I'm doing right now, being in this car, even having this conversation like this on abroad, all on a platform like this, I don't even have these discussions like that no more, man. Because it's like you steady run to a brick wall because motherfuckers don't be want to listen, and it's already a precursor genetically who gonna make it and who ain't gonna make it anyway.
Yeah. I completely agree with you like that, and you are absolutely right. We don't have these conversations all like that with people. You want me to tell you why, bro? Because people ain't on the same playing field that we on. Let's just be honest with ourselves, man. Now, how you say, K's, everybody ain't playing with a full deck.
I know I ain't playing with a full deck.
Yeah, I ain't either. Shit.
I ain't either.
Bro. And so I was trying to say what little amount of debt I got left. Shit. You know,
no,
that entails, and let me just say correct. I ain't got time for no African American ass nigga.
Nope.
He said African American ass nigga.
And I ain't got no time for no European sent over here because they was criminals to American enslavement type of white ass nigga. So I don't got time for neither one of the parties. You know
None of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm independent. I'm independent party, man.
Man, I don't subscribe to none of that shit.
Yeah, I'm independent party. Now I do business with the air likes if they on the right vibration, but I ain't studying with motherfuckers on because niggas is retarded. Niggas is retarded and these white folks, man. Guess what, man? Guess what? All these motherfuckers out there cotton picking ass, man. All
of them.
Damn. Shit. I think it's too many distractions for black folk right now. That's what I think. Too many distractions.
No, niggas just want to be distracted.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm done giving excuses for these motherfuckers because you can Google and find out everything you need to know. Ain't no excuse no more.
Yeah, that is absolutely true, man. You should be misinformed on a lot of things nowadays because you could just go
Kanye
look
was
at
right. Kanye was right. Niggas, slavery's a choice, my nigga.
Yep.
Or it's just like,
always been a choice.
I see people operating a certain
way. Read that U.S. Constitution, you'll see it's a choice.
Or I see people operating a certain way when they know the truth nowadays.
Yeah, niggas like to be lied to. That's more convenient.
That's what I said. People would rather hear. I swear I just said this 2 days ago. People would rather believe the lie than to hear the truth.
Yeah, man.
Like people get offended by the truth.
Yeah, man. No accountability. Go back to the accountability. So really, it's just a full circle. So,
because I said, I made a whole point about this. I'm like, okay, so if I run into a dude that I know his right hand is smaller than his left hand, I'm not gonna sit here and make him feel like that both his hands is the same size for his ego or for him to feel good.
Right.
That's dumb shit. Same go with all this other shit, man. Like, man, you know, I'm cut from a different cloth, man. You understand me? I don't be on all this shit that these niggas be on and shit. I feel like, hey, if you motherfuckers gonna cancel me, but don't cancel me for having my own opinion. Don't cancel me because I don't believe in the bullshit that y'all try to feed me and my people.
That's why they're gonna cancel you.
Well, you
listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. They're only gonna cancel you if you accept to be canceled.
True. But you can't cancel me.
You can't cancel me.
You can't cancel me because there's all types of other shit, bro. Listen, man.
You can't cancel me because I've been canceled you, motherfucker. So.
And don't even deal with them. I just try to get out, you know.
I done checked out for you motherfuckers years ago, decades ago.
I try to keep the message positive overall at the end and shit like that. But like I always tell people, I'm like, bro, this is the shit that real black men talk about amongst each other. Even when we talking about broads, we talk about simp ass niggas, whatever we talking about. This is the type of shit that niggas talk about. Like we talk about money. We talk about how can we better our people. You get what I'm saying? How can we tell our people to put themselves in better positions to where they could be better off in life without subscribing to these motherfuckers or depending on them? Because that's what's going on. Like all throughout history. This is what I always said about the voting shit, man. How long y'all motherfuckers gonna keep voting for the same shit and don't nothing happen? Y'all been voting for these motherfuckers for how long and ain't shit changed? But I'm wrong for speaking about that. Now, the older generation, I can understand why they say you need to go out and vote because, like, it was certain shit people fought and they died for that shit. But me personally, when my vote ain't amounting to nothing, what the fuck am I voting for? Like, ask yourself that simple question. People who, like, a lot of black folks, y'all all Democrats, right? What has the Democratic Party done to better your life?
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself that. I'm serious. People be out there passing out, needing waters, all types of shit to go vote for these motherfuckers, bro. But these motherfuckers ain't never done nothing for them ever, bro. They communities, none of that shit. If anything, they done made y'all communities worse and made y'all more dependent on them.
You know, I do not participate in any kind of European government activities.
Mm-hmm. But it's a large segment of our people that do, bro. And what I always say, I'm going to end it off on this note, man. We about to get the fuck up out of here in a minute. I always say, you know what was the biggest trick ever, like, to my people, period? Like, it's easy to convince a motherfucker that he a slave when he was born into it. All of y'all been born into slavery, including you, K's, and me, born into slavery.
Oh, yeah.
We was born into it, bro. It's to the point, right? Back then, you know why they stopped the Atlantic slave trade? And I say this all the time, because them niggas that was coming over from Africa wasn't having that shit. They weren't born slaves. You understand what I'm saying? They knew they weren't slaves in their mind. But all the niggas over here, they couldn't convince them niggas like, look, it's more of us than it is these motherfuckers. Let's take this shit over or kill these motherfuckers for fucking with us like this. You understand me? They couldn't convince them that, but you want me to tell you why? Because they was born slaves. That was the
plus it was that house nigga's turn to get him some of that white meat.
Mm-hmm. But see, he was born into that, bro. He was born into it. You ain't got to convince him he a slave. He was born into it. His mind is already programmed slavery. These niggas over here, they done been free, running around hunting with their tribes and shit, and then this motherfucker come chain me up, and then he take me over here to go work and do some shit for him,
you know what?
Beat me and do all this other shit. Go ahead, bro.
You gotta appreciate the white man gangster. He ain't trust that white bitch neither. He said, I know that bitch gonna live with one of these niggas.
Yeah. Why you think they used to castrate him, bro? Like, I just think of the devilish shit these motherfuckers used to do, and it was done all out of jealousy, bro. Why you think they used to castrate niggas? What that nigga doing with that thing like that hanging, just dangling everywhere and shit? Yeah, my wife looking at this shit sideways and come home and look at my shit like, and just highly disappointed. Let me cut this nigga shit off.
Remember the perfect scene from a movie that can describe the character that they must have had at that time is Belly when Meth went down to that little town and dude had the little pacifier and he hated on him.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm dropping a dime on that nigga.
That's how that class of people was, how they treated us. It was that same hateration that was boiling in the motherfucking bloodline.
Yeah.
Saw a nigga stunting from riding dolo from state to state, and they like, we gonna trap this nigga right here.
Yeah, right.
So
they came over there seeing them niggas.
They had a nursery rhyme for it. Any, mini, mighty, mo, catch a nigga by his toe. If he holler, if he say the right shit, let him go. Any, mini, mighty, mo.
But yeah, man, I'm about to get the fuck up out of here, man. You know, I appreciate everybody that came through and rocked with us tonight. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all come check us out on Tuesday night, same time, 11 until. On Thursday, K's going to be digging in the crates live on WDQS Blaze Radio. Make sure y'all go over there and follow, and make sure y'all take a listen to us. I'd rather y'all come listen to us over there than to watch the stream when we be doing it. And make sure y'all come back again Friday and check us out. And most of all, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Hit that share hit the share button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever we go live. I'm Luxury, the most expensive nigga rolling, and y'all know the rest, a.k.a. DJ Easy, Dick to your bitch, BKA Mr. Shoving Wood, whatever is good. And I'm in the building with my favorite motherfucking DJ, DJ K's, a.k.a. DJ fucking Jokes. And of course, we had the God Body Jihad in the building. I appreciate you, my brother, coming through. You always drop knowledge and gems on niggas when you come through and shit. We got to have you come through a little bit more often. But we about to get out of here, Grownmanishh. I appreciate y'all. Once again, good night. See y'all Tuesday. We out of here.
Shit.